Second part. Chapter 21 Samsung Rat King. Su Liang worked hard and increased his speed to the extreme. Gong Lai will be anxious to death later. You don't want your life? Su Liang shouted softly, there are people there that I must protect. Gong Lai was almost furious. You can only speed up your pace. It didn't take long. The two of them arrived nearby Qianqian's home at the same time. I saw a mother and daughter leaning against the wall with pale faces and panicked faces. In front of them, there were two bloodthirsty rats staring at their mother and daughter. One of them is particularly tall. Exuding a disgusting rancid smell, the hairs on the body stood up like steel needles, and the huge tail was thrown to the ground, causing the ground to explode. Su Liang and Gong Lai's expressions instantly turned ugly. Damn it! This is actually a 3-star bloodthirsty rat. Gong Lai's picture was transmitted to Tianyan Xiaolan behind the scenes in real time. Captain. Over there with old Gong is a 3-star bloodthirsty rat. When all the members heard this, their expressions suddenly changed wildly. Qi Hengchu's voice came. Gong Lai. Be careful and we will come to help you as soon as possible. Gong Lai's face turned extremely ugly. Although he is a 3-seal master, he has little chance of winning against a 3-star bloodthirsty rat. Bai Qianqian and Lu Xian looked pale. They saw Su Liang and the others. There were tears in his eyes. Su Liang, leave quickly. Bai Qianqian choked with sobs. At this time, the bloodthirsty rat king turned his head and glanced at Su Liang and the others. The next moment, there was a neighing sound. He rushed directly towards Bai Qianqian and the others. Su Liang and Gong Lai rioted almost at the same time. This is the reaction they should have as a hunting team. Purple light surged around Gong Lai's body, and 3 divine seals appeared on his body. With great speed, he had already pulled out a source crystal weapon in his hand. Source crystal cannon. With a blast, the ball of light flashing with dazzling blue-white light instantly hit the bloodthirsty rat king. Boom! The source of energy exploded. The bloodthirsty rat king screamed in pain and was directly blasted into the nearby house, smashing many things. At the same time, Su Liang kicked another 1-star bloodthirsty rat on the head. Gong Lai was almost dying of anxiety. This kid is really desperate. The bloodthirsty rat can easily break his legs with just 1 claw. But the next moment, Gong Lai's eyes widened. Su Liang's flying kick directly kicked the bloodthirsty rat that was taller than him away. Omega Omega? Everyone in Gong Lai was dumbfounded. That's a bloodthirsty rat. Was he kicked away just like that? The bloodthirsty rat definitely weighed more than Su Liang. But the bloodthirsty rat was kicked away just like that. How did this kid do it? Is he so strong? There was no time to react too much. Gong Lai still cursed, damn it, do you want your life? Gong Lai quickly rushed to Su Liang and the others. Su Liang ignored him. He came to Bai Qianqian and held her face with one hand. Don't be afraid. It's okay. You will be fine. Tears shed from the corners of Bai Qianqian's eyes. Squeak. The bloodthirsty rat king climbed up from the ruins, looked up to the sky and let out an angry roar. There seemed to be some blood in those scarlet eyes. By this time it was furious. Soon, rustling sounds came from around the house. On the road around them, behind them, and on the roofs above them. Bloodthirsty rats shining with scarlet light appeared one after another. His eyes were locked on them. 8 in total. It's all here. Gong Lai looked ugly. Damn it. I can't kill you. Boy. Protect them too and leave the rest to me. Gong Lai threw out a source crystal pistol to Su Liang. Su Liang didn't say much, picked up the pistol, and protected Bai Qianqian and her daughter behind him. Bai Qianqian grabbed Su Liang's clothes tightly with her small hands, wanting to hug him directly. Gong Lai exploded. Purple light surges around the body. A divine seal appeared on the calf and both arms. The divine seal erupted into waves. The 3 divine seals are lightning signs. Gong Li drives the source crystal cannon in his hand. Damn it! You beasts! Go to hell! Gong Li fired loudly, his main target being the bloodthirsty Rat King. Blast out with one cannon. Hitting the body of the bloodthirsty Rat King, the hair and steel needles on his body were shattered. The Rat King was in agony. Let out a scream. The other 7 bloodthirsty rats also pounced on him. All extremely ferocious. Gong Li didn't hesitate at all and blasted out with one shot. He has a very silky figure and will not let anyone go. I saw the source crystal light flashing, and as soon as the cannon was fired, a bloodthirsty rat screamed. Those 7 bloodthirsty rats were nothing but cannon fodder when faced with the source crystal cannon. A cannon exploded into blood foam. The Rat King was angry. Watching its child die, it looked up to the sky and neighed. The only thing that can respond to it is cannon. Cannon after cannon fired wildly. The steel needle fur on the Rat King fell to pieces on the ground. However, soon, the energy of the source crystal cannon was exhausted. Lost its light. Oh shit! Gong Li shouted loudly and pulled out his weapon from the space converter. It's a silver spear. The moment the silver spear landed, the divine seal emitting purple light began to inspire power. Gong Li's body was covered with a layer of dense arcs of electricity. His eyes were also filled with lightning. Come on! Beast! Gong Li picked up the spear and pointed it at the Rat King. The arc spread to the spear. The Rat King hissed and rushed towards Gong Li. Gong Li stepped forward and rushed out. Exudes a powerful aura. One person and one mouse, they soon started fighting together. Gong Li's spear stirred up blossoming spear flowers, and thunder and lightning raged, hitting the Rat King's indestructible fur, causing bursts of sparks. The Rat King's claws were extremely sharp, and when they collided with Gong Li's spear, they made a sound of metal collision. Gong Li's offensive was very fierce, focusing on an all-out attack with no thought of defense. He is protected by armor. His strength was extremely strong, and he swung his gun and hit the Rat King's body, sending the Rat King flying away. The fighting was extremely fierce. Su Liang protected by Qianqian and her daughter away from the battlefield. The 2 mother and daughter were so frightened that they almost lost their souls. Su Liang's head became heavy. This Rat King is also very terrifying, and it will be difficult for Gong Li to defeat it. The 3-star alien beast's flesh defense is very terrifying. Take this bloodthirsty Rat King as an example. Its fur has evolved in the direction of metal steel needles. Normal attacks can't hurt it at all. The source crystal cannon could only break those steel needles. Su Liang, can he win? Bai Qianqian calmed down a little and hid behind Su Liang. Su Liang looked solemn. It's hard to say. Lu Xian said, Xiao Liang, let's leave quickly. Su Liang said, Auntie, I don't know where to go now, and I don't know if there are any bloodthirsty rats around here. It's best not to run around at the moment. Lu Xian was very scared. After all, she was just an ordinary person. Watching the fierce battle between one man and one mouse. Su Liang's head was not optimistic. Gong Li is a divine master with 3 seals and thunder attributes, who can control the power of thunder and lightning. Judging from his current strength, his level should not exceed level 25. It is difficult to fight against such a 3-star bloodthirsty Rat King with such strength. But he couldn't help him at all. Fight for several minutes. The Rat King has begun to be injured and blood is flowing out. Gong Li was also breathing heavily. The Rat King neighed and rushed towards him. Beast! Die! Gong Li roared angrily and thrust out his spear like a dragon. Thunder and lightning flashed. The Rat King kept moaning. But it was just this moment. The Rat King's hardtail suddenly swung towards Gong Li. Be careful! Su Liang exclaimed. But it was too late. The tail hit Gong Li so hard that his armor was damaged. He spit out a mouthful of blood in the air and flew to the feet of Su Liang and the others. How's it going? Su Liang asked worriedly. Gong Lai looked a little pale and stood up with his spear in hand. Why don't you leave? Are you waiting to die? Gong Lai said cursingly. I don't dare to leave. How do I know if there are others around? Gong Lai was helpless. No more, just 8, hurry up and leave. Don't hold me back. You should have told me earlier. Gong Lai spit out another mouthful of blood. The Rat King is ready to go. He looked up to the sky and screamed again. The sound seemed to reach underground. Just then, Xiaolan's voice came from the headset. Captain. Another large number of bloodthirsty rats have come from the underground. There are also 2-star bloodthirsty rats. Captain, a 3-star bloodthirsty rat king has appeared over there. Be careful. It's over. Several more bloodthirsty rats are heading towards Lao Gong. News came one after another. The faces of everyone in the Gene Kill team were covered with a layer of gloom. Gong Lai's face was solemn as never before. It's better now. I can't leave anymore. Another bloodthirsty rat is here. Bai Qianqian's mother and daughter's expressions instantly froze and they became panicked. Su Liang's face darkened. How much? Chapter 22. Some things must be done. The captain's voice came from the headset. Xiaolan, quickly notify other teams and the military department to help. Yes. Gong Lai, hold on. Gong Lai heard the sound and felt unprecedented difficulty. Faced with Su Liang's inquiry, he didn't know how to answer either. Boy, the Rat King will definitely lure other bloodthirsty rats here later. Then you should seize the opportunity to escape. I don't know if I can withstand it. Su Liang's head became heavy. Didn't the other teams and military headquarters be notified? I've informed you, but I can't get here quickly. You must leave later, otherwise I won't be able to protect you. Su Liang nodded. I understand. The bloodthirsty rat neighed again. He rushed towards Gong Lai. Gong Lai spat out a mouthful of blood. Damn! Kill! He burst out again, the arc surging. Kill the enemy bravely. Su Liang sighed. This is the divine hunting team, this is the divine chosen one. When facing strange beasts, you must do your part and be at the forefront. In his last life, he watched familiar people fall in front of him again and again. Wave after wave changed. This is the cruelty of this era. And Gong Lai is the last fighter in the divine hunting team. Can't even retreat. The so-called rear battle refers to the final battle, and it is also the person who cuts off the rear. In ordinary small battles, they only need to watch out for missed targets and perform last-ditch attacks. But once faced with a very dangerous situation, they are the ones who stand in front of all their teammates. Fight to the death and never retreat. This is the post-war fighter. Just to protect teammates. Once upon a time, he also worked as a post-war fighter for a period of time, and his survival time and time again seemed to depend on luck. Over time, the battle between Gong Lai and the bloodthirsty Rat King becomes more and more intense. The injuries on his body were becoming more and more serious. He had no help and could only rely on himself. Blood sprayed again and again. The armor disintegrated, and there were deep wounds visible on the body. But his eyes were still blood red. He knew that he had to severely injure the bloodthirsty Rat King before other bloodthirsty rats arrived, otherwise he would have no chance at all. Then you have to take action. After a collision, he backed out. Lightning suddenly appeared in his eyes. The 3 divine seals began to emit bright light. Thunder and lightning burst out from him. He yelled angrily, "Thunder Dragon breaks the army." In an instant, the spear in his hand shone with dazzling lightning, and he stabbed it out suddenly. In an instant, the spear in his hand shot out a terrifying bolt of lightning. It seemed that the bloodthirsty Rat King was aware of the danger. Subconsciously, all the hair on the steel needle stood up. It curled up into a hemisphere and used its hair to resist Gong Lai's blow. Boom! The thunderbolt struck the bloodthirsty Rat King's fur. Exploded with a bang. Terrifying explosions swept across all directions. The civilians in some surrounding houses were trembling and did not dare to poke their heads in the air. Su Liang looked at that scene and felt calm in his heart. Qianqian, you see, that is the innate power of the divine seal. That is what the school has always said. After one seal, each divine seal will awaken an innate ability. For the offensive divine seal, this innate power is the trump card and a life-saving skill. That is the power of seals. Each divine seal will have a corresponding seal, and you will also have one in the future. Bai Qianqian was still in shock and only listened a little. Is the Rat King dead? Su Liang shook his head. It was impossible. This is the power of Gong Lai's 2 seals, which is far from the level of killing the 3-star Rat King. Unless the 3 seals are still possible, once the power of the 3 seals is used. His oil has run out and his lamp has dried up. Thinking about the power of Bai Qianqian's 10 seals in his previous life, it was really like burning the sky and boiling the sea. It was really terrifying. It was said that the power of this seal could kill all the living creatures in a first-class city. The whole of China, that is, the 4 of them, have reached the realm of the God Emperor. That kind of power is taboo. The lightning dispersed. The Rat King was blasted into the ruins again. Gong Lai's spear landed on the ground, breathing heavily, and the purple light of the divine seal on his body began to dim. His eyes were fixed on the bloodthirsty Rat King. The Rat King roared angrily. Exploded again. You can clearly see blood flowing. A huge black wound appeared on its back. There was no steel needle fur there anymore, and the blood couldn't stop flowing. This blow really seriously injured the Rat King. But it also completely angered the Rat King. Those scarlet eyes were flashing, and anger could be clearly seen. It seemed like it wanted to tear this human being into pieces before it could vent its anger. Another neighing sound. A rustling sound came. Another bloodthirsty rat appears. They approached the bloodthirsty Rat King. Su Liang's face was extremely solemn. Damn it! 3 2-star bloodthirsty rats and 5 1-star bloodthirsty rats. Gong Lai is in danger. The only good news now is that the Samsung Rat King has been seriously injured. Boy! Let's go! Gong Lai shouted angrily. The lightning on his body erupted again. The bloodthirsty Rat King neighed and gave orders. 8 newly appeared bloodthirsty rats rushed towards Gong Lai. Su Liang knew that he had to leave now. He glanced at Gong Lai with a heavy heart. Gong Lai chased him and showed a decisive smile. Then he dives headlong into the swarm of bloodthirsty rats and fights them with his life. That resolute look seemed to take Su Liang back to his previous life and think of the man who sacrificed his life to fight for his blood. Su Liang, your uncle, you will protect me in the next life. Ha ha ha. Remember to give me some of the jar of wine I buried, so don't drink it all by yourself. See you in the next life. Su Liang's eyes were red, and he pulled the 2 mother and daughter who were still in shock and left without looking back. Where is he? Bai Qianqian asked. Su Liang did not respond. Bai Qianqian seemed to have anticipated Gong Lai's fate and fell silent. Su Liang pulled the 2 of them and ran quickly. Find a safe place. But I feel uneasy in my heart. In his previous life, he was timid, greedy for life and afraid of death, and so many people protected him. Did he really survive because of his own strength? No, it was those comrades and compatriots who fought for him with their lives. He felt that if he really left like this, his conscience would always be uneasy like in his previous life. Living in that guilt nightmare. Finally, Su Liang saw a bright light. It's a civilian safe house. Qianqian. Take your aunt to the safe house to hide. Bai Qianqian was stunned. What about you? Su Liang looked at her deeply. He smiled bitterly. I owe that guy a few beast crystals. I can't just watch him die like this. Bai Qianqian's eyes turned red instantly. But when the words came to her lips, Bai Qianqian didn't know what to say. Tears have wetted his eyes. Xiao Liang. Don't be impulsive. Lu Xian said excitedly. Su Liang smiled bitterly and shook his head. Some things must be done. You go. Su Liang let go of their hands and turned back instantly. Bai Qianqian burst into tears. You must come back alive. Su Liang turned around and grinned, okay. He disappeared into the darkness and disappeared. Bai Qianqian covered her mouth, feeling very uneasy. This time, he was in danger. But she couldn't help him. Am I about to lose him? Her vision gradually blurred, and Lu Xian pulled her towards the safe house. Chapter 23 Kill the Rat King. Bai Qianqian's home. Gong Lai looked at the last 3 2-star bloodthirsty rats and the Rat King. Holding the spear, blood flowed across his body. He was breathing heavily. Already approaching the end of the lamp. 3 2-star bloodthirsty rats were also seriously injured. The 3-star Rat King is watching eagerly. At this time, it will not rush to the front. Instead, he rolled up the corpses of the dead bloodthirsty rats and gnawed on them, swallowing their blood and repairing his own injuries. Gong Lai was wielding his spear, and a bloody wound appeared on the right side of his abdomen, which was almost pierced. The bleeding doesn't stop now. He was breathing heavily. Xiaolan, have the reinforcements arrived? There was silence in the headset. Gong Lai smiled, it's okay without reinforcements. Brothers, your old Gong may have to say goodbye to you. I'm very happy to have worked with you all these years. I'm taking the first step. Everyone's anxious voices came from the headset. Old Gong. Old Gong. Gong Lai. Retreat. Don't fight to the death. Captain Chi Hengchu's voice sounded. Gong Lai smiled, Captain, if I retreat, more people will die. A life is worthless. Everyone remember to burn some big boob girls for me so that I won't be so lonely. A sad voice came from the headset, ****. You are not allowed to die. Gong Lai smiled miserably, and that face appeared in his mind. Lu Yin, find a good man to marry. No further nonsense, Captain, that guy is pretty good, remember to recruit him. Let's go. Old Gong. Old Gong. Gong Lai no longer paid attention to the voice in the headset. His eyes were full of determination. Beasts. Come. Let Grandpa chop you up. Gong Lai laughed wildly. Thunder and lightning flashed in his eyes. Thunder and lightning began to surge all over his body. His third divine seal began to tremble. The power of the seal surges within it. The Rat King sensed the danger. Squeak. It neighed. The remaining 3 2-star bloodthirsty rats rushed toward Gong Lai like crazy. Gong Lai looked up to the sky and laughed wildly. Thousands of thunders break. The sounds of teammates collapsing came from the headset. Old Gong. Gong Lai. Under the extreme brilliance of thunder and purple light, Gong Lai used his last strength. The spear is like a galloping thunder dragon. When the spear is thrust out, the thunder and fire explode. 3 bloodthirsty rats were pierced by him and strung together. Then he suddenly stabbed towards the 3-star Rat King. This moment, Su Liang arrived just in time and saw Gong Lai's last shining scene. His eyes widened, watching him stab the Samsung Rat King with a spear. The Rat King felt a great crisis. At that moment, a pair of sharp claws pressed against the tip of the gun. Ah! Die! Gong Lai shouted angrily. Thunder and lightning surged. Click! The sharp claws of the bloodthirsty Rat King exploded to pieces. A spear pierced the chest of the bloodthirsty Rat King. At this moment, time seemed to have stopped. Su Liang felt that his breathing was stagnant. Doesn't this idiot know how to run? One person and one mouse seemed to be at a standstill. The bloodthirsty Rat King's scarlet eyes showed a ferocious look. Extremely painful. Squeak. It neighed. Blood dripped from Gong Lai's mouth. Looking at the struggling bloodthirsty Rat King. Are you going to die? Sure enough, there was still no way to kill this beast. If there weren't so many bloodthirsty rats, maybe we would have won. His eyes gradually dimmed. The bloodthirsty rat king goes crazy. Trembling like crazy. It swung its thick tail. He stabbed Gong Lai suddenly. Gong Lai no longer had the strength to fight back. He could only let the sharp tail pierce his right chest. Then stir it up. The rat king hissed and threw Gong Lai away. It was smashed into ruins. The rat king hissed angrily and pulled out the spear stuck in his body. Wrap it up with its long tail, swing it suddenly, and stab Gong Lai in the ruins. Su Liang's head trembled. Gong Lai. Su Liang's feet suddenly exerted force. He kicked the spear, causing it to move in some directions. The spear almost grazed Gong Lai's right ear and plunged into the ruins. Just a little bit, Gong Lai's head was almost gone. Su Liang appeared next to Gong Lai. Gong Lai. Gong Lai. The companions in the headsets heard Su Liang's shouts. They were all silent, and their hearts were filled with sorrow. A huge bloody hole appeared in Gong Lai's chest. He coughed up blood and could vaguely see Su Liang. He cursed, "You, idiot, come back, for what? Quick, go." Su Liang looked at Gong Lai. "You're an idiot, can't you run away?" Gong Lai had no strength and seemed to die in the next moment. Su Liang looked at him and didn't know what to say. "Yes, you are an idiot, why are you coming back?" But his heart just told him that he should come back. "Damn it, you'd better not die. I'm going to give you back the beast crystal." Gong Lai had no strength to reply. Su Liang grabbed the silver spear with one hand. His eyes were firmer than ever before. In his previous life, he was afraid of death and hid under the wings of his teammates. The death of his teammates put him under great pressure. Maybe it's because he died once and he is no longer afraid of these things. He didn't want to watch a person like him who fought for his own life die like this. He had seen too many people like Gong Lai in his previous life, and he didn't understand them at that time. But now, he gradually understands. When we live in this world, we always have to stick to something or something. This may be the meaning of our life. The moment he picked up the spear, a glimmer of light flashed in Su Liang's eyes. "Who told me to owe you 5 beast crystals? As a person, 1 is 1 and 2 is 2. If you are going to die, who should I give it to?" Su Liang stared at the bloodthirsty rat king who was also almost exhausted. "Then kill. Get the spear." Perhaps it was because Gong Lai's thunder power still remained. It made him feel a little numb. And that's about it. Su Liang's chest began to feel hot. One Piece is piping hot. He frowned. The next moment, his chest began to emit a faint golden light. That scorching feeling made his whole body unbearably hot, but at the same time, at this moment, he only felt that his whole body was full of infinite power. What's going on? The power of the red-eyed celestial Lin beast form? Su Liang didn't understand, he looked at his body in disbelief. At this moment, every pore of his body in the field of vision of the Eye of Insight was emitting a faint golden light. Su Liang's head shook. What exactly is this power? Golden light? Could it be? He couldn't believe it at all, he didn't think he could obtain that level of power. But now is not the time to investigate such matters. He suddenly raised his head and looked at the bloodthirsty rat king. A faint golden light flowed through his eyes. When the rat king saw Su Liang's pale golden eyes, he smelled Su Liang's aura. There was a look of fear in those scarlet eyes. The body began to tremble. It was a visceral fear. Su Liang snorted coldly. The spear hit the ground, causing a circle of waves. Su Liang's head was trembling. This is the power of the divine seal. I obviously haven't awakened yet. He shouted coldly, "Kill." He kicked the tail of the gun and stabbed it out. Su Liang was so determined. The angry dragon breaks the army. The gun comes out like a dragon. The bloodthirsty rat king hissed. Even if you are afraid, you still have to fight back. One-shot blasts. The Rat King retreated violently. This kind of pressure that seemed to come from the soul greatly reduced the strength of the Rat King. Su Liang's heart was filled with the surging emotions. In my previous life, if I had been more decisive, would there have been a different outcome? Are some people immortal? Go back in time. In this life, he doesn't want to do that again. He wants to change. In the future, when he meets those people, he can also change their endings. At this moment, he was also doing it for Gong Lai. The gorgeous gun flowers swayed, leaving bloody wounds on the Rat King's body. The Rat King groaned. Even its own innate abilities were suppressed to the point of being unable to move. He became the target of being tortured and killed by Su Liang. A glimmer of light flashed in Su Liang's eyes. A shot fell. Bang! One of the Rat King's front paws exploded instantly. He fired another shot, and the tip of the spear chopped off the Rat King's tail. A tragic scream. Attack after attack, the Rat King's injuries became more and more serious. The originally indestructible fur became fragile under the blessing of Su Liang's golden power. Kill him until he is dying. Look for the opportunity. Su Liang is as cold as frost. Die. He stabbed out with a spear, and the extremely fierce pale golden power attached to the tip of the spear instantly penetrated the Rat King's head. Su Liang raised it high. The gun barrel was violently shaken, and the Rat King's head exploded instantly. A beast crystal was wrapped in flesh and fell. The end of everything. Su Liang's eyes were endlessly cold, like a murderous god. He finally breathed a sigh of relief. It should be gone for the time being. The spear fell to the ground. The golden light began to fade, and the burning sensation in his chest began to disappear. It was at this moment that Su Liang's feet went weak. His whole body was extremely weak, and he almost knelt on the ground. Holding the spear and breathing heavily, his face turned pale. Is it such a big side effect? Chapter 24 Dead. Su Liang felt like he was about to collapse. Apathetic. Using this power not only consumed his physical strength, but also consumed his mental strength. He just felt dizzy. Just about to collapse. Su Liang. A choked voice came towards him. Su Liang looked over. It was Bai Qianqian who ran towards him with tears on her face. Su Liang curled up his lips, she still cared about him. I wonder how much fear she overcame to come. Fortunately there is no danger. Bai Qianqian supported Su Liang. Su Liang, are you okay? She grabbed Su Liang and checked his body. I couldn't stop the tears in my eyes. Su Liang smiled palely, don't worry, I'm not hurt. Help me to that guy. Lu Xian also ran over in a panic. Qianqian. Bai Qianqian had already helped Su Liang to Gong Lai's side. Seeing the angry Gong Lai. The huge hole in his chest was still bleeding. Maybe dead, maybe not. The mother and daughter didn't dare to look any further, it was too bloody. Su Liang sat down next to him and took off the headset from his ears. Hey, please answer when you receive it. Old Gong. The team members were stunned. I'm not Gong Lai. Please send a therapist over quickly. I don't know if he can be saved. Hurry up. Luin. Hurry. Qi Hengchu's voice sounded. In fact, Luin has already set off. Su Liang breathed a sigh of relief and lay half beside Gong Lai. Silent for a long time. What the Divine Hunting team needs is unconditional trust in their teammates. To be able to trust one's life. Therefore, generally speaking, the relationship between everyone has gone beyond friendship and is the kind of iron-blooded comradeship. Su Liang actually always understood. But in his previous life, he missed too much. In this life, he doesn't want to miss it. He recalled the teammates who died in front of him one by one in his previous life and smiled bitterly. I will pay you back in this life, and I will protect you instead. Not long after, a woman wearing a green tight-fitting uniform ran over in a panic. He knelt down directly in front of Gong Lai. She has a soft body and a pretty face. She looks about 30 years old and has the style of a royal sister. Her face was already covered with tears. Both Bai Qianqian and Lu Xian knew her. She was the woman who treated Su Liang last time. She was shaking. Her voice was choked with tears and she couldn't stop her tears. No. You can't die, B********************. D. Her eyes were full of reluctance. The green leaf divine seals on a pair of arms are already emitting green light. There is also the power of the divine seal blooming on the eyebrows. She cried sadly, "You can't die." Bai Qianqian and Lu Xian were silent. Su Liang looked at this scene and sighed in his heart. The power flowed into Gong Lai's body, but no reaction was seen from Gong Lai. No. Wake up. Not long after, their other teammates arrived. This is the first time Su Liang has met these people. They all appeared next to Gong Lai. All of them were taciturn and had sad eyes. The green warrior in the green suit collapsed and cried. Wake up. B**********************. D. You haven't married me yet. Wake up. All the teammates couldn't bear to watch. Lu Yin activates the power of the seal. A green leaf materialized and sank into the location of his wound. But Gong Lai still didn't respond, and couldn't even breathe. The greenery felt like the sky had fallen. She was at a loss. Why don't you leave? Why don't you live? You tell me. Lu Yin's pretty face was covered with tears and blood. She stretched out a hand tremblingly and touched the face that was still warm. She wiped her tears while surging her strength to save him. The teammates on the side couldn't bear it. Lvin, don't be like this. No. He won't die. He also promised me a lot of things that have yet to be completed. Su Liang stood up with difficulty, his expression solemn. Under the extremely shocked eyes of Qi Hengqiu and others. He gave Gong Lai on the ground a courtesy that only the divine hunting team could understand. That is a divine hunting gift with the highest etiquette. They were extremely surprised that this boy actually knew this ritual. The team members also saluted, which was the gift of the divine hunter. Lao Gong, don't worry, I'll burn some big girls for you, a team member said sadly. Lu Yin lay on Gong Lai's body and patted him. You, come alive. And just then. Boom. In a daze, Lu Yin seemed to hear the sound of Gong Lai's heartbeat. She stood up suddenly as if she was electrocuted. Gong Lai. Gong Lai. She grabbed Gong Lai's clothes and shook them hard. Wake up. Suddenly, Gong Lai closed his eyes. Stop shaking it, you'll die if you shake it any more. As soon as this voice sounded, everyone looked at Gong Lai with surprise on their faces. Old Gong. Old Gong. Lu Yin looked at Gong Lai and burst into tears. You be *************************************. D. Couldn't you wake up earlier? You made me cry for so long. Gong Lai coughed twice. I haven't married you yet, how can I be willing to die? Lu Yin burst into tears and smiled. You be *********************. D. All teammates breathed a sigh of relief. His face changed instantly. All laughed. Gong Lai smiled and said, Xiao Longzi, how many big-bodied girls can you burn for me? The young man named Xiao Longzi grinned. As long as Sister Lu Yin doesn't mind, I will burn 100 of them for you so that you can be happy every day. Everyone laughed. Lu Yin patted him on the body. Gong Lai groaned in pain. I'll take a nap first, it hurts so much, so tired. He closed his eyes again. No sleeping. Lu Yin scolded. Oh, I won't die. I don't want to die. Lu Yin continued to surge her own strength and continued to help him heal his injuries. The other team members also helped. Su Liang looked at that scene. The corners of his mouth were slightly raised. Fortunately, it's not like he came in vain. It's better not to die. At this moment, he felt as if a layer of guilt in his heart had disappeared. Captain Qi Hengqiu called Su Liang to the bloodthirsty Rat King. I am the captain of the Gene Kill team, my name is Chi Hengchu. Hello, Su Liang. Chi Hengchu nodded, well, I know you, thank you. Su Liang shook his head. He saved us. Without him, we might have died long ago. Chi Hengchu nodded. Look at the Rat King. Did you kill him? Su Liang was stunned for a moment and quickly shook his head. How could he admit it? Even if Gong Lai made something clear later, he just wouldn't admit it. He didn't even figure out his own secrets, so as not to cause too many things. It was Gong Lai who killed him, but when he fainted, I shot him again and smashed the Rat King's head. Chi Hengchu glanced at Su Liang, would he believe it? But he didn't want to expose it, so that was fine. Chi Hengchu said, after your divine awakening, if your divine awakening succeeds, I would like to ask you to join us in Jinsha. Su Liang smiled, then let's wait until I wake up. It's hard to say what happens next. Chi Hengchu nodded. Su Liang said, the underground pipes still need to be blocked, otherwise no one will be able to bear it if they come back every now and then. Chi Hengchu nodded, the military department has been notified, and they have sent people to destroy the pipeline. After a while, Gong Lai's injury stabilized and healed. Captain, you can go back now. A team member greeted. Chi Hengchu nodded. Goodbye. Su Liang smiled and nodded, goodbye. Gong Lai was pulled onto a stretcher. He is awake now. Etc. Everyone was stunned. Gong Lai looked at Su Liang. Little b***************** d. Go on. He saw 3 2-star beast crystals and 1 3-star beast crystal being thrown towards him. Su Liang grabbed it and frowned. What's the meaning? Gong Lai cursed and said, aren't you lacking the beast crystal? I'll give it to you. Su Liang shook his head, nonsense, this is a 3-star beast crystal, do you think it is a cabbage? Gong Lai said, I'll give it to you. What's wrong with mother-in-law and mother-in-law? Su Liang still shook his head and threw it back to him. He paid such a high price to finally have these gains. The value of a 3-star beast crystal is very considerable. He does need the beast crystal, but he can't do this. After all, Gong Lai saved him, by Qianqian and their mother and daughter. Hey, you little b****************************************** d, you are so pretentious. Su Liang was speechless, gun. You are still hypocritical. A group of team members looked at them curiously. Are these two guys so familiar? Perhaps only Su Liang knows that as both members of the Divine Hunters, Gong Lai's personality is the easiest to get along with. He is very similar to him in his previous life, so the two of them get along easily. Gong Lai snorted lightly, but still took out the 3 2-star beast crystals and threw them away. Do you like me or not? I'm too lazy to care about you. Brothers, let's go. Go home. Everyone laughed and carried him away. Su Liang looked at the 3 2-star beast crystals on the ground and smiled knowingly. Pick it up. Then he looked at the mess on the ground. Qianqian, Auntie, the house has been completely destroyed. You can stay at my house. I still have an empty room. Hee, you can finally take the Empress home today, right? Chapter 25 Significant Improvement. The 3 of them staggered home. Grandpa has been waiting at the door for a long time. Bai Qianqian felt embarrassed at first, and Lu Xian didn't want to disturb her. But seeing his home in ruins, there was really nothing he could do. There is really no place to live. Thinking about repairing it later. Therefore, he followed Su Liang to his house. Su Liang chuckled inwardly, finally taking the Empress home. Bai Qianqian lowered her head, a little shy. Grandpa, this is my classmate Bai Qianqian, and this is her mother, Aunt Lu Xian. The old man was out of character. Come in quickly. The old man enthusiastically helped Lu Xian and the others carry their things. These are some things that were dug out from the ruins. Lu Xian will go back and dig through them tomorrow. Hello, Grandpa. Bai Qianqian called weakly. She looked at the rickety old man with a nervous look. Su Luochen chuckled, hello, don't be nervous, come in. Lu Xian also said a little embarrassedly, old man, I'm sorry to bother you. Don't disturb, the more people there are, the more lively it will be. Su Liang looked at his grandfather's enthusiastic look and raised his eyebrows slightly. Is this still the old-fashioned little old man? Grandpa's walking in front. We have 2 rooms that are empty. It just so happens that you and your daughter can have 1 room each. Lu Xian waved her hands repeatedly, no, we can just live in 1 room. The old man chuckled, it doesn't matter. It's empty anyway. I'll accompany you to pick up some of your things and come back tomorrow. You can just arrange it by yourself. Everyone put their things down. Grandpa smiled and asked, have you all had dinner? Grandpa, we have eaten. Su Liang answered. Okay, then hurry up and help clean up. Go to bed early today and leave all other things to tomorrow. Okay, I'll go right away. Su Liang put down the things in his hands and ran to the west room next to him to pack them. His home has a layout similar to that of a courtyard house. It's not big, but it's still cozy, better than Bai Qianqian's home. Let me help you. Bai Qianqian also hurriedly followed. She is still a little shy. Looking around. Su Liang smiled. The 2 of them ran to the house to clean up. During this period, you can just live here and don't have to think too much. Bai Qianqian responded softly. Good. Her cheeks were slightly red, this feeling was so wonderful, they would live under the same roof from now on. Su Liang. Bai Qianqian called him. Huh? What's wrong? Bai Qianqian looked at him with sincere eyes. Thank you, you saved us again. Su Liang said with a smile, you're welcome, have you forgotten? I did all this for a purpose, and you will be the one to protect me from now on. Bai Qianqian's earlobes were slightly red, but can I really protect you? I feel like there's nothing I can do to repay you. Su Liang said jokingly, you don't want to pledge yourself to me, right? Bai Qianqian suddenly raised her head and looked at Su Liang. Then he lowered his head shyly. I also. She was really embarrassed to speak, but if she wanted to say it, it wasn't impossible. But I couldn't speak. At this moment, Lu Xian walked in with a basin of water. It's pretty clean, there's nothing to clean up. Bai Qianqian immediately lowered her head in panic. Su Liang smiled secretly. Auntie, then you should wash up early and I won't disturb you. If you need anything, just shout. You're welcome. Lu Xian smiled and nodded, okay, thank you, Xiaoliang. Su Liang walked out. Then Lu Xian noticed her daughter's red cheeks. Qianqian, what's wrong with you? No. Mom, I'm fine. Lu Xian looked at her panicked expression thoughtfully. She smiled slightly and said, actually, Xiaoliang is a pretty good boy. Mom supports you. Bai Qianqian's cheeks turned red instantly. Mom. What did you say? It's nothing. Lu Xian smiled slightly, don't I understand my daughter yet? Bai Qianqian felt like she was going to be embarrassed to see anyone. Outside the house, Su Liang, who was mentally sharp, raised the corners of his mouth slightly when he heard those words. Oh, what a pleasure. It's just that he still doesn't dare to think about getting the Empress. Maybe after she awakens, she will meet better geniuses in the future. Su Liang hurriedly washed up. In fact, he was already very tired and felt extremely weak. He lay down on the bed. He took out the 3 2-star beast crystals, and his eyes gradually became fiery. 1 2-star beast crystal is roughly equivalent to 10 1-star beast crystals in terms of value in their human society. 1 is worth 10. Su Liang couldn't imagine that he had 31-star beast crystals in his hand. How many value points can be converted tonight? What about the Eye of Insight? He rubbed his palms together, already impatient. He placed these 3 2-star beast crystals in front of himself and fell into a slumber. A thought came to my mind. His consciousness was pulled into that strange space. Those pair of golden beast eyes were staring at him. With a thought, he activated his numerical value panel. Beast Energy Transformation. Conversion Progress 6/10000000. Beast Talent, Eye of Insight 1. Divine Seal, Unawakened. Spirit 11 out of 100. Strength 16 of 100. Agility 11 out of 100. Speed 11 of 100. Still a familiar panel. But soon, Su Liang discovered something was wrong. There is an extra percentage in the physical attribute value. What does this mean? It can only reach 100? Su Liang was confused. But now it seems that we can only take one step at a time. There will always be a day when it is full. But soon he thought about it again. What value will the power of the 3 2-star beast crystals have by then? How to distribute it? How should he distribute it? He doesn't know how to control the addition to those values. Su Liang is really convinced, at least give me a hint. Forget it, don't think about it for now, transform first. He had a thought in his mind. Soon, the cold voice of the machine sounded again. Beast energy is being transformed. Those golden beast pupils shot out golden light and shone on Su Liang's body. That pain came back. At this time, in his room, the power of the 3 2-star beast crystals was slowly turning into streaks of smoke and flowing into Su Liang's body. During this process, Su Liang endured the pain that burned his body. Grit your teeth. I can only endure the pain forcefully. This is a process that must be gone through. It's just that he doesn't know how to distribute it, so he can only think about it and distribute it equally. The transformation process this time will obviously take longer. The pain was very palpable. If it weren't for the xinqing accumulated in the previous life, it would probably collapse. Fortunately, I still withstood it. Finally, the golden light slowly disappeared, and the pain also subsided. He breathed a sigh of relief. The virtual panel was brought up again. Beast Energy Transformation. Conversion Progress 36/10000000. Beast Talent, Eye of Insight 1. Divine Seal, Unawakened. Spirit 11 + 7/100. Strength 16 + 9/100. Agility 11 + 7/100. Speed 11 + 7/100. Su Liang looked at the panel in surprise. Holy shit, it's really like this. I just have to think on my own. Su Liang smiled bitterly. It turned out to be that simple, he just had to start thinking about how he wanted to distribute it. What he thinks about is equal distribution, and the extra will be added to the strength. I didn't expect this to be the case. The corners of his mouth curled up, now he understood a little bit more. And 1 2-star beast crystal can really only be used as 10 1-star beast crystals. It's okay, don't be greedy. Only in the column of the Eye of Insight, there is still no change. It seems that improving the Eye of Insight will be more difficult. But Su Liang was satisfied for the time being. The current ability of the Eye of Insight was already considered very strong. Soon, he left this state again. Opened his eyes. It was already early morning. He took a deep breath, feeling full of energy and not bad. He shook his fist casually. Snap! A sonic boom sounded. Su Liang was a little shocked. This power. Simply terrifying. Su Liang really couldn't imagine how strong he had become. My mental strength also feels much fuller, and I can also feel some changes in my speed and agility, which is simply abnormal. He was extremely happy, which was all a good thing. It seems that in this life, my destiny will really change because of the transformation of this beast. Soon, there was a sound outside the house. Xiao Liang, come out for breakfast. You have to go to school. It was Lu Xian's voice. Su Liang smiled, okay, auntie, here we come. The first breakfast with the future empress, we had it together, hee hee. Chapter 26 Su Liang Murderer. 4 people sat around the dining table and had breakfast. Lu Xian smiled, Xiao Liang, try it and see if it suits your taste. Su Liang took a sip and looked surprised. Wow, Auntie, your cooking is so good. It's so delicious. Lu Xian smiled and said, don't flatter me. Su Liang smiled and said, Auntie, no, I really think it tastes delicious. Lu Xian smiled and nodded, then eat more. Bai Qianqian kept her head down shyly, not daring to raise her head. Last night, because of her mother's words, she tossed and turned all night long. Su Liang is very good, Mom supports. When she thought of those words, her cheeks couldn't help but feel hot. Grandpa Su Liang, I'm going to disturb you during this time. Su Luochen also had a smile on his face. It's okay. My house hasn't been this lively for a long time. Just stay here with peace of mind. Don't worry about repairs over there. It's still so dangerous over there. Lu Xian was still a little embarrassed. This is what feeds you and lives in you. It's really. The old man hurriedly said, I told you not to say this. You don't have to worry about food. Look at Qianqian, she is so skinny. Next, I will give her some supplements to keep her healthy. You mother and daughter, don't worry about anything else. My old man still has some strength. I'll accompany you later, go to your house to pack some things, and you can settle in peacefully, that's it. Lu Xian's eyes were red. She didn't expect to meet such an old man. Lu Xian nodded. Bai Qianqian also said softly, Grandpa, thank you. The old man showed a warm smile, you're welcome, we will be a family from now on. You brat, you have to protect Qianqian well in school. Su Liang grinned, Grandpa, I know. Bai Qianqian glanced at Su Liang quietly and found that Su Liang was also looking at her. Quickly lower your head. When I'm almost done eating. The two of them went to school together. Bai Qianqian followed Su Liang timidly. Su Liang, your grandpa is so kind. Su Liang said with a smile, I said, my grandfather is very easy to get along with. Even when he treats me, he is not so enthusiastic towards you. He is usually cold-faced and warm-hearted. You will find out later. Bai Qianqian followed Su Liang and looked at his back, feeling an unprecedented sense of security. Along the way, Bai Qianqian didn't say anything else. Just following Su Liang. On the school bus, Su Liang would protect her so that she wouldn't have to endure the crowding. It feels so good. However, Bai Qianqian was also thinking in her heart. How should I repay Su Liang in the future? I really don't have anything valuable. She was the only one left. Otherwise, stay with him for the rest of your life. Bai Qianqian was embarrassed by her own thoughts. Bai Qianqian, you are so shameless, I haven't said I want you yet. If it is true that she will awaken the SSS-level divine seal as Su Liang said, then when she becomes stronger in the future, it will be her who protects Su Liang. Come to school. Just walked into the classroom. Su Liang noticed that something was wrong with the atmosphere. All the students saw Su Liang appear. There was a slight abnormality in the expressions of each of them. Su Liang's mental perception is very keen. This is very obvious. When he saw Zhang Tianhao's sinister smile, he understood instantly. The corners of his mouth unconsciously curved into a strange arc. Want to trick me? Zhang Tianhao has already stood up. Su Liang. You murderer. Lu Hao also cursed, you murderer, you still dare to come to school. Zhang Tianhao had a proud smile on his face. Hurry and report to the teacher and ask them to bring the police officer here. Catch this murderer. After Zhang Tianhao finished speaking, some students had already run out to inform the teacher. Zhang Tianhao sneered and said, you are really capable. How dare you kill someone in public? The students looked at Su Liang and shunned him like tigers and wolves. Bai Qianqian was also confused by these sudden words. Murderer? When did Su Liang kill someone? He had been with her yesterday. Where was the killing? Su Liang looked at his proud look and wanted to see if he could laugh again later. At this time, Leng Lianshuang also stood up and looked at Su Liang. Why do you want to kill someone? Do you know that this will ruin your life? I'm going to wake up soon, why are you so impulsive? Leng Lianshuang's eyes were full of hatred for steel. Su Liang sneered, but now he actually cared about him. Bai Qianqian grabbed the corner of Su Liang's clothes, feeling restless in her heart. Murder was a very serious and bad thing, and it would be punishable by death. Su Liang just held her hand gently. This scene fell into Leng Lianshuang's eyes, like a steel needle piercing her heart. Why can't she stand this scene? Su Liang is not hers. Su Liang sneered and said, "Who said I killed someone? When did I kill someone? You are spitting blood." Leng Lianshuang sighed when she heard Su Liang's sophistry and sat directly in her seat. Why bother? Su Liang sneered at this. Zhang Tianhao sneered, "Keep pretending. Keep pretending. I have seen the whole process of your murder." Su Liang was stunned for a moment. Where did you see it? Zhang Tianhao sneered, "Now you know you are afraid? Come. Kneel down, kowtow and beg me. I might consider saving you." Zhang Tianhao's proud face and nostrils almost reached the sky. "I didn't kill anyone," Su Liang said coldly. "You still want to quibble? I think you won't die until you reach the Yellow River." Zhang Tianhao laughed evilly. "Today, you are going to the police station. You are going to die. Ha ha ha." Zhang Tianhao smiled wildly. Those who had been named and scolded by Su Liang now had sarcastic smiles on their faces. It seemed that he just wanted to see Su Liang be arrested and taken to the police station and then shot. This is what happens if you offend them. You, Su Liangqian, shouldn't have done anything. You just shouldn't have let the matter fall into their hands. Yang Biao came over quickly. "Brother Liang, what's going on with you? Zhang Tianhao and the others have a video of you beating someone to death." Zhang Tianhao yelled angrily, "Yang Biao. What are you going to do? Are you going to teach him to collude in confession? Be careful, you will be implicated. If you are arrested by then, you will no longer be able to think about divine enlightenment." Yang Biao's face was ugly. Now he just wanted to help Su Liang, but he didn't know how to help. Su Liang smiled faintly. "Biaozi, go back to your seat, don't worry." Yang Biao was almost dying of anxiety. "Well." He sighed deeply. Su Liang looked at Zhang Tianhao. "He said that you have a video of me killing someone. Show it to me. Isn't it because you wanted to frame me and synthesized it?" Zhang Tianhao sneered sarcastically, "Su Liang, death is imminent, why are you pretending? What did you do in the alley to the left of the school when school was over yesterday? Have you forgotten? Hear this." Su Liang's eyes solidified slightly, seeming to show a trace of panic. Zhang Tianhao and Lu Hao were both sneering. He looked like he was just waiting for Su Liang to be in trouble. "Are you scared now? What did you do yesterday? When you started, you only wanted to kill people? You are a complete murderer. You hit the teacher and your classmates. I think you are a wolf in sheep's clothing. Wait for death." Su Liang listened to these words and sneered in his heart. Then he would see who was going to die. At this time, Bai Qianqian finally knew what was going on. When school was over yesterday, Su Liang left her for a while. At that time, Su Liang went to kill people? Bai Qianqian grabbed the corner of Su Liang's clothes. "Su Liang." Su Liang turned to look at her and gave her a reassuring look. Zhang Tianhao scolded angrily, "Bai Qianqian, as the squad leader, I would like to remind you not to walk with this murderer, or you will be implicated too." Bai Qianqian's eyes were red. There is absolutely no way Su Liang is a murderer. You must be mistaken. Zhang Tianhao sneered, "Made a mistake? There are both witnesses and material evidence. Are you still making excuses?" Leng Lianshuang glanced at Su Liang with complicated eyes. "That's all, just pretend there is no such classmate. I'm still thinking about changing my feelings towards him." "He didn't." Bai Qianqian burst into tears. Su Liang looked at her and said, "Don't cry, it's okay. I didn't kill anyone, so don't worry about them." Zhang Tianhao snorted, "What are you pretending to be?" And that's when A group of people hurriedly walked in the classroom corridor. The new acting head teacher, Huan Shan, and several police officers had already appeared at the door of the classroom. Behind it, there seemed to be Liao Yuqian watching the show with a sneer on her face. The 3 police officers came over quickly. "Su Liang, you are suspected of murdering others, please come with us." Chapter 27 The truth comes out. One of the police officers directly showed his police ID card. The other 2 people were about to handcuff Su Liang directly. Huan Shan sighed, how could such a thing happen? At this time, Zhang Tianhao and Liao Yuqian showed ferocious and proud smiles. It's time to die too. Bai Qianqian finally couldn't hold back her tears. Don't want. She also wanted to stop the police. Huan Shan quickly said, "Classmate Bai, don't be ridiculous. It is a crime to obstruct law enforcement." Tears flowed uncontrollably from Bai Qianqian's eyes, and she shook her head desperately. "Officer, Su Liang definitely did not kill anyone. You must have made a mistake." The police officer said indifferently, "Get out of the way. It's law enforcement now." Seeing that the pair of cuffs were about to be cuffed on Su Liang's hands. "Wait." Su Liang suddenly said. The police officer looked at Su Liang, "Whatever you want to say, go back to the police station and tell it." Su Liang had a calm smile on his face. "Officer, you can arrest me, but I also need to know why you are arresting me, right? You said I killed someone, but I did not kill anyone. My classmate said that you have a video of me killing people. You have to show it to me, right? Even if you let me die, you have to die clearly, right? You just took me away without saying a word. If something goes wrong with me along the way, who should I turn to? Am I not going to die unjustly?" Upon hearing this, the police officer's face darkened. "What? Are we still going to cause chaos?" Su Liang smiled and shook his head, No, I just want to see that video." Su Liang knew that Zhang Tianhao must have found these police officers, and maybe he had taken care of them. "If you want to make things bigger, you have to be here." The police officer snorted coldly, "Okay, I'll show you." I saw the police officer quickly flipping the smart watch on his wrist. A picture was projected in front of Su Liang's eyes. In the picture, there is not a single frame missing from the scene where the young man robs Su Liang, then the 2 people argue, and finally Su Liang punches him to a bloody pulp. "What else do you have to say?" the police officer said coldly. Zhang Tianhao shouted, "Officer, take this murderer away quickly. This is simply a shame to our Shinjuan No. 2 middle school." Some classmates also followed suit. Yang Biao was almost dying of anxiety. Bai Qianqian felt like her heart was broken. Did Su Liang really kill someone? Su Liang said in surprise, "Officer, is that person dead?" The police officer snorted coldly, "If you have anything to say, let's talk about it at the station." Su Liangshi brought a pair of silver bracelets. Seeing that Su Liang was about to be taken away, Zhang Tianhao and Liao Yuqian were ecstatic inside. "Wait. Officer, that man is dead, you can't just take me away, right?" The whole audience was stunned. The police officer frowned, "What do you mean? Do you have any accomplices?" At this moment, Su Liang showed an evil smile. "That's not an accomplice. I have a video here. After everyone watches it, officer, you will know who to take away." Su Liang's eyes were fixed on Zhang Tianhao and Lu Hao. At this moment, Zhang Tianhao and Lu Hao's hearts trembled. What's going on? Why do they feel so cold all over? Before the police officer could speak, Su Liang had already activated his star chain. A screen popped up. The moment the first picture appeared, Zhang Tianhao and Lu Hao both lost their souls. It's over. It turns out that he has been waiting for them here for a long time. Damn it. This B*********** D actually saved such a trick. In the picture, Zhang Tianhao and Lu Hao were walking together with the young man. Zhang Tianhao, teach him a lesson. Young man, simple, I am not a stupid woman like your class teacher. Zhang Tianhao, you go in first, beat him down first, and then we come in. Looking at these conversations, Zhang Tianhao and Lu Hao turned pale. The students around were extremely shocked. Zhang Tianhao and that guy were in the same group. Liao Yuqian looks ugly, is she a stupid woman? Leng Lianshuang was a little surprised. It turned out that Su Liang had taken precautions. Su Liang's careful thoughts made Leng Lianshuang take a high look. But he still killed someone, right? What could this mean? Yang Biao and Bai Qianqian were a little surprised. Could things turn around? Several police officers' hearts sank, and they glanced at Zhang Tianhao. Zhang Tianhao's face was pale at this time. This guy was photographed all the way to the back. There shouldn't be, right? Didn't he leave later? Zhang Tianhao still wanted to struggle. What does this mean? Yes. I did come to teach you this, man, but you still killed someone. You still want to make excuses? Officer. Take him away quickly. He is simply confusing the public. At most, it's just a grudge between classmates, and he killed someone. Zhang Tianhao was anxious. Now I wish the police would take him away quickly and find an opportunity to destroy the so-called video. Zhang Tianhao had a very bad feeling in his heart. He felt that he might be unlucky. He was extremely frightened. Su Liang smiled faintly. Oh, monitor, why are you in a hurry? I haven't finished watching the video yet, the fun is yet to come, don't be anxious. If I kill someone, I just accept the punishment. Zhang Tianhao was extremely frightened. Lu Hao was also trembling with fear at this time. It's over. If that scene really exists, then his life will be ruined. At this time, a bad premonition arose in the hearts of the students. It feels like this is about to turn around. Behind the screen is a scene of Zhang Tianhao and the others staring at the video of Su Liang and the young man fighting. Su Liang came out from behind. Look. What can you prove? Didn't you kill someone? Quick. Officer, take him away. At this time, everyone's eyes were turned to Zhang Tianhao. His eager look now proves that Zhang Tianhao has something up his sleeve. Su Liang had an evil smile on his face. Don't worry, the key point is coming soon. The scene continued. After Su Liang turned around and entered the store, Zhang Tianhao and Lu Hao came out of the alley. He ran to the alley where the young man was. The two people stopped next to him and chatted for a while. Zhang Tianhao and Lu Hao collapsed to the extreme. At this moment, Zhang Tianhao couldn't wait any longer. He rushed towards Su Liang like crazy. He wants to destroy the video. Zhang Tianhao suddenly punched Su Liang on the wrist. At this moment, the classmates exclaimed. And Su Liang had already expected it. A sneer curled up at the corner of his mouth. Although he was bound by a silver bracelet, Su Liang's current strength was not something that a warrior like him could resist. If not for fear of beating him to death, Su Liang just punched him directly. Su Liang's hands were shaken. A terrifying force emerged instantly. He shouted sharply, "Get out!" Zhang Tianhao's punch touched Su Liang's hands. Click! A scream sounded. Ah! Zhang Tianhao was knocked out directly. His face was ferocious and desperate. Su Liang sneered, "You want to destroy the evidence? Why are you panicking? I uploaded it a long time ago." Zhang Tianhao grabbed his other hand, and the bones were shattered. This scene shocked everyone present. Zhang Tianhao looked at Su Liang bitterly, his heart gradually despairing. It's over. It's really over. In the same state, there is Lu Hao. At this time, there is no one left. Su Liang looked at the police officer. This is self-defense. The police officer could not say anything at this time. The scene continues. Then, with everyone watching, Zhang Tianhao and Lu Hao took action together and punched and kicked the young man fiercely, killing the young man on the spot. Everyone clearly saw that the young man was still alive when Zhang Tianhao and the others came. But Zhang Tianhao and Lu Hao decided to beat the person to death directly and then frame Su Liang. Things have become clear and all the truth is revealed. Zhang Tianhao and Lu Hao instantly collapsed on the ground. It's over. The students suddenly realized. One by one, they looked at Zhang Tianhao and Lu Hao in shock. It is really unimaginable that this incident turned out to be a frame-up carefully planned by Zhang Tianhao and Lu Hao. Bai Qianqian's tears finally stopped. Su Liang was fine. He didn't kill anyone. Best friend Yang Biao also breathed a sigh of relief. It was really scary. Leng Lianshuang was in her seat. At this time, her eyes flickered, and the way she looked at Su Liang had completely changed. This Su Liang is not simple. It turned out that he had been prepared for the inevitable death situation. This is basically a counterattack that Su Liang is waiting to trap Zhang Tianhao to death. The eyes of the students looking at Su Liang changed, and they were full of awe. Su Liang looked at the three policemen with a smile. Comrade police officer, you see, the truth of the matter is clear. At most, it was self-defense. I just fought back and beat him until he was unable to fight back. And it's these two guys who have sinister intentions. In order to frame me, they actually killed people directly. You really know people but don't know their hearts. Comrade police officer, we must deal with it strictly. We must deal with it strictly. The three police officers watched Su Liang act here. I took a deep look at him. This guy is so scheming. Comrade police officer, can you help me untie them? If I want to torture them, I'll torture them both. Yes. Officer, beat those two guys. Yang Biao followed suit. The situation has reversed, and the offense and defense have changed. There was no other way, the police officer had no choice but to untie it. Look at Su Liang. You knew they were killing someone yesterday, why didn't you report it? Hey, officer, I didn't know he was dead at all. I thought they were just venting their anger. Besides, I experienced an attack by a strange beast last night. I really don't have time. Hearing this, the whole audience was shocked. Alien beast attacks. The officer looked suspicious. Su Liang explained, this matter is absolutely true. It was our gene-killing team in Chengdu who saved me. You can check this. Ember-killing team. The whole audience was shocked again. You don't dare to fake this kind of thing. Officer, can we arrest them? Su Liang smiled. The police officer could only take down Zhang Tianhao and Lu Hao. Zhang Tianhao was already desperate at this time. Looking at Su Liang's face, he roared bitterly, Su Liang. I won't let you go. My family will definitely kill you. Just wait for me. Son of AB*****ch. You tricked me. Su Liang looked innocent. Officer, look, he threatened me, I want to sue him. I want to sue him to the temple. Ah. Su Liang. I'm going to kill you. Son of AB*****ch. Son of AB****ch. Chapter 28 I will protect you from now on. Zhang Tianhao and Lu Hao were taken away. Those students in the classroom who were close friends with Zhang Tianhao were silent. Yang Biao walked up to Su Liang and slapped him on the shoulder. Brother Liang, you are so awesome. Ha ha ha. The two of them are finished. Yang Biao's laughter fell in the ears of every student, which made people feel complicated. Zhang Tianhao was doing this on his own initiative. Bai Qianqian burst into laughter, feeling very happy, as long as everything was fine. Huan Shan, the acting head teacher, said, okay, everyone goes back to their seats and it's time to go to class. He took a deep look at Su Liang, said nothing, and turned away. Su Liang caught a glimpse of Liao Yuqian at the door and sneered in his heart. Want to see his plight? Su Liang pulled Bai Qianqian back to their seats. With a winner's smile. Bai Qianqian's cheeks turned red. Suddenly there was a burst of booing in the classroom. Oh. Bai Qianqian lowered her head, ran to her seat and quickly lowered her head. Leng Lianshuang, who was in the front row, felt her heart twitch. Do you care about Su Liang so much? He was actually robbed of his suitor by a clown duck. Classes will begin soon. Bai Qianqian lowered her head and asked softly, you already knew these things, why didn't you tell me? It made me so worried. Su Liang said softly, it's just Zhang Tianhao. He was crushed to death casually. Don't worry. It would be a shame if I was tricked by him. By the way, why are you so worried about me? Before he finished speaking, Bai Qianqian pinched Su Liang's waist. Her face was already red hot. You are not allowed to talk nonsense. Su Liang chuckled, okay, I won't say anything, just listen to the class. Bai Qianqian lowered her head, really, it made me so worried. In fact, the students can't calm down for a long time now. Su Liang's move can be said to have driven Zhang Tianhao to death. Now Zhang Tianhao is going to be finished and kill someone. And as he is about to reach consciousness, he is probably going to be crippled in this life. However, some people speculate that Zhang Tianhao's family is powerful and they may find ways to save him. After this incident, those students who started to have opinions about Su Liang knew clearly that this person should not be messed with. You won't pay for your life if you cheat someone. I'm about to wake up, so I'd better be honest. It's just that they also thought that Zhang Tianhao was tricked by Su Liang into this, and his family wouldn't let it go, right? In their Shinjuan No. 2 middle school, there is also a cousin of Zhang Tianhao. That was the top student in the school. The fighting level is all those who have reached the hidden S level. I'm afraid it won't be good anymore. But now, Su Liang doesn't care about these things at all. If they want to die, he doesn't mind giving them a ride. Now he only thinks about how to get the beast crystal. This feeling of increased strength gave him a great sense of security. But things like beast crystals are too difficult to obtain in the city. Unless you have money. He has no money. A first-level beast crystal is worth several hundred when exchanged for their soft girl coins used by civilians. And these several hundred are enough for an ordinary family to spend 10 days and a half a month. He can't afford such expenses, and he is not a rich man. Therefore, we still have to get beast crystals now. I really can only wait until I enter the Chosen One to learn, and go to the hunting ground to kill. After entering the Chosen Academy, divine crystals will be distributed every month for evolution. There are still 3 days of divine awakening. The girl next to me is finally about to undergo a transformation. Noon. It was rare for Yang Biao to sit and have dinner with the two of them. Brother Liang, what are the arrangements of your god? Could it be that you can predict the future? Su Liang smiled, want to learn? I'll teach you. Call dad first and listen. Yang Biao glared at him, forget it if you don't say it. Su Liang smiled, Biaozi, actually I can really predict the future. Yang Biao sneered, just brag. Why am I bragging? I'm telling you, you can awaken the B-level divine seal. Yang Biao rolled his eyes, bah. I'm only B-level, why are you cursing me? Su Liang smiled, there was no way around it, it was level B. Compared with the vast majority of people who cannot awaken, it is already much better. Bai Qianqian glanced at Su Liang, why was he so sure? Is it true? Can she really awaken the SSS-level divine seal? Su Liang raised his eyebrows, I won't tease you anymore. In fact, when school was over yesterday, I noticed those two guys following me sneakily. I knew they didn't hold their shit in well, so I wanted to save it. I released my ladybugs, and I didn't expect such a big windfall. Yang Biao gave him a thumbs up. You're awesome. I really envy you. Your grandfather can still give you such a good thing. Look at me, it's still an old-fashioned mobile phone. Su Liang glanced at the star chain on his wrist, and the little ladybug was lying there. In today's era, basically all electronic devices can perform communication functions. The star chain on Su Liang's wrist not only allows communication, but also has functions such as reconnaissance and holographic projection. Not very impressive, but similar to many students living in urban areas. Still relatively expensive. This is why Su Liang always suspected that his grandfather had another identity. Although his family is also in a civilian area, his life has never been difficult. When Bai Qianqian heard this, she casually glanced at the old-fashioned watch on her wrist. Can also make phone calls. But it's limited to making phone calls. Su Liang smiled and said, "What is there to envy? In the future, when you become the God's chosen one, you can earn divine crystals or beast crystals and use them to replace them with better equipment." Yang Biao rolled his eyes. How can it be that simple? Su Liang just smiled. But it's a good thing that you caused such a thing when you weren't a god. Otherwise, the Supervision Department and the Heavenly Punishment Department would have come to arrest you, and you wouldn't have had a chance to explain. Yang Biao said. Su Liang nodded, "I have a sense of discretion. If I were the chosen one, I would have filed a record on this matter long ago and would not give him such an opportunity." Yang Biao nodded. After having dinner together, Yang Biao separated from them, not wanting to be a light bulb. Now even a fool can see that the relationship between the two of them is unusual. Probably really together. On the way back to the classroom, Bai Qianqian stood under the shade of a tree and suddenly stopped. "Su Liang!" she shouted. Su Liang looked back at her. Bai Qianqian under the shade of the tree, although she is still skinny now, has an inexplicable sense of beauty, soft and frail. She put her hands behind her back, and the breeze blew her skirt, like a beautiful picture. The girl is picturesque. Su Liang knew that she would soon transform and shine in the world. "What's wrong?" Bai Qianqian asked, "Will I really awaken the SSS-level divine seal?" Su Liang nodded, "Yes, definitely." Bai Qianqian's eyebrows are curved, as if she is smiling. "Then I will protect you from now on." Su Liang smiled knowingly and nodded heavily, "Okay. You must keep your word." The girl smiled softly, as if she had made some determination. Chapter 29 Divine Awareness, activated. Time always slips away inadvertently. 3 days is very short. In the past 3 days, Su Liang and Bai Qianqian have been together every day, and their relationship has obviously heated up. If she hadn't lived in the same room as her mother, Su Liang would have gone to her in the middle of the night to talk about his life ideals. In the past 3 days, Su Liang also received news about Zhang Tianhao. He also cooperated with the police in conducting some investigations. Originally, I wanted to say that he was also responsible, after all, he hit someone. But Su Liang is not a fool. In the video, he was clearly held to the neck by the guy with a knife. This has already posed a danger to his life. Is it wrong for him to fight back? He beat him so that it wouldn't pose any danger to him. How could he be overly defensive? Did he kill someone? No. Therefore, the police had no choice at that time. He just said that if there are any follow-up questions, his cooperation is needed. As for Zhang Tianhao, he has been imprisoned, and even his consciousness has become a problem, so he may miss it. That Lu Hao was an unlucky guy. When Zhang Tianhao was about to take action, in order to prevent him from being left out and standing on the same front, he was forced to take action and became a pure and innocent villain. Both men are now incarcerated. It's also very satisfying. Today is a turning point in the fate of all senior high school students in Shenjue Middle School in the city. Divine Awakening Day. This Divine Enlightenment Day is unified and all falls on one day. The so-called divine consciousness is to awaken the divine seal in the body. Also called awakening. Divine consciousness requires the help of a special device, and this device was developed by the temple. It contains contemporary technology, combines the power of divine crystals and source crystals, and can actively awaken the divine seal in the body of the chosen one. Of course, if you don't realize it, can you wait for the divine seal in your body to slowly awaken? Of course it is possible. But that process will be very slow, and it may take until your 20s or even your 30s. In this way, the best age for growth is missed. In today's era, there is no time to wait. The whole of China needs a steady stream of the blood of the chosen ones to inject into the temple. But one thing is, I have never seen anyone under the age of 18 able to awaken the divine seal. Therefore, the current senior students of Shenjue Middle School are all over 18 years old. Just wait for this day. Today is a turning point in the fate of these senior high school students. Awakening the Divine Seal will directly enter the Academy of the Chosen Ones. Those who have not awakened can take the college entrance examination normally, be admitted to an ordinary university, and become an ordinary person, or study academics and become Chinese scientific and technological talents. Today will be a moment to witness history. There were more than 6,000 people in the entire senior year. Came to the Shenjue playground. Everyone arranges in order. Each class forms a square array. There was excitement on everyone's faces. The day has finally come. They are all looking forward to awakening the high-level Divine Seal. But according to the normal proportion, among the more than 6,000 people, the number of people who can awaken the Divine Seal may only be about 2,000. Among these 2,000 people, those with Divine Seal levels of C and B will account for 1,067. There are only about 300 people who can truly awaken the A-level Divine Seal or above. This probability is very low. Those who can reach S-level, let alone those who can, will be the proud ones in the future. But this does not mean that C and B-level Divine Seals are useless. Still much stronger than ordinary people. Level C has a chance to become a 2-seal Divine Envoy, B-level has a chance to become a 3-seal Divine Master, and the better ones have a chance to become a 4-seal Divine Master. Not too weak either. Bai Qianqian stood next to Su Liang. I was nervous inside. She glanced at Su Liang, SSS level. Su Liang talked to her a lot in the past 2 days. When she awakens, she will become the center of attention. When the time comes, everyone will give her an olive branch. One by one, they will approach her passionately. But she doesn't like it. She would rather just have Su Liang by her side. She seemed to be aware of Bai Qianqian's nervousness. Su Liang hooked her wrist. He smiled at her and said, "Don't be nervous, let everything take its course." Seeing Su Liang smile, she quickly calmed down, as if she was not afraid of anything as long as he was by her side. Yang Biao was also beside the two of them, already smelling the sour smell of love. Facing the rising sun, Principal Lu Kaiyuan appeared. Standing on the high podium. Through the microphone, start speaking. Dear classmates, today is the most important day in your lives. I am here to wish you all the best from the bottom of my heart. A long speech. But I have to say that Principal Lu still has a talent for speaking. It aroused the enthusiasm of many students. In the future, you will join China. Whether you are awakened or not, you will all be a part of China. Those who have successfully awakened should guard against arrogance and impetuosity, study hard at the Chosen Academy, train hard, improve their levels, and contribute their own strength to China's fight against alien beasts in the future. Those who failed in awakening, don't be discouraged. Study hard, go to university, and devote yourself to scientific research. You can still bring glory to China. Each of you is China's most precious wealth. Born for China. Supreme glory. All the students seemed to be ignited and excited. Lu Kaiyuan smiled and said, "Okay. I won't say any more. Shenjue. Activate." The principal's loud voice resounded throughout the playground, and the atmosphere reached its peak. The next moment, in the middle of the playground, 10 black metal cylinders 30 meters high and 1 meter thick in radius rose from the ground. Separated in 10 positions. This is the guidance pillar of divine awareness. It contains the world's most advanced source energy technology. All the students looked at the 10 spiritual guidance pillars excitedly. It's finally starting. Even Su Liang, who had been reborn, was also stirred up in his heart at this time. Will he still be Class B this time? What about the red-eyed celestial beast-shaped seal on the chest? Su Liang didn't know, so he could only take one step at a time. He is not discouraged if it is only B level. If it can be higher, he will naturally be happy. Soon, several teachers appeared around the 10 divine guidance pillars, including teachers from our school, teachers from the Chosen Academy, and a serious-looking military member. This is a major matter and must be treated seriously. At this time, there were also big figures from all parties on the rostrum. Under the gaze of everyone, divine awakening begins. For 10 positions, the students lined up in an orderly manner. A round of 10 people came to the Divine Awareness guidance pillar. Under the guidance of the teacher, I placed my hand on the depression of the palm of the Divine Awareness guidance pillar. Soon, 10 divine guidance pillars flashed a faint light almost at the same time. The 10 students seemed to be electrocuted at this moment. It's fleeting. Everyone waited quietly for the results. About 30 seconds passed. 3 of the spiritual guidance pillars shine with different colors of light. 1 white light, 1 green light, 1 purple light. 1 grade C, 1 grade B, and 1 grade A. The whole place is excited. Among the 10 people for the first time, there was an A-level 1. The students under the 3 spiritual guidance pillars showed joy on their faces. Somewhere on their bodies, the light of the divine seal shone. The A-level classmate was even more ecstatic. Destiny changes from now on. Only those 7 people did not change at all, and they felt a little sad. They are not awakened. The teacher shouted. The chosen ones, go and register for the next group. A smile appeared on Principal Lu's face on the podium. 3 people in the first group successfully awakened, which is a good sign. Everyone on the side nodded in agreement. But Lu Kaiyuan subconsciously looked in Su Liang's direction. The corners of his mouth curled up slightly. Will this little guy awaken the divine seal? Once successful, he is basically a confirmed member of the Jin killing team. Hope he has good luck. Su Liang was still watching, as if he felt someone was watching him. Looking over, it turned out to be the rostrum. The principal is looking at him? Su Liang thought it might be an illusion. And then, groups of people continued. This process is long and arduous. Those who have not gone up are looking forward to going up, but they are afraid that they will not wake up. A mixture of emotions. Some of those who failed could not bear it, and it was common for them to break down and cry. Among them, there are many people with A+ level fighting skills. He usually works extra hard during training, but in the end, he can only be an ordinary person. Group of 10. Sometimes, no one in a group succeeds. This situation is very common. And for now, the highest level of divine seal currently awakened is a level. The quantity is very small. There are only a few out of 100 people. Generally speaking, some people are happy and some are sad, it all depends on fate. Su Liang, can you tell what attribute or type of divine seal those people have awakened? Bai Qianqian's soft voice sounded in Su Liang's ears. You can't see it. If you don't understand it, the attributes of these people's divine seals are all secrets. No one wants to expose it easily. Bai Qianqian nodded. What about me then? Su Liang smiled and said, you can't hide it. When she awakened, she shocked everyone. The fiery aura that was born to suppress everything would expose her attributes. Su Liang was silent for a moment. When there are so many geniuses around her in the future, will she really care about him? Chapter 30 School Beauty S-Level. The divine consciousness still continues. The 10 divine guidance pillars emit light of various colors from time to time. There are 6 divine seal levels in total. They are C, B, A, S, SS, SSS levels. The colors corresponding to the level of the divine seal are white, cyan, purple, black, red, and gold. This light will manifest when the divine seal is activated. But at the same time, be careful. The attribute power of each type of divine seal will manifest different colors of power. Similar to Gong Lai, his divine seal level is purple, which is a level. But his attribute power is thunder and lightning, so when fighting, the light on his body is a mixture of purple and thunder and blue. Lu Yin is also an A-level divine seal, but its power attribute is mainly healing, so when the power of the divine seal is used, green light appears. Generally speaking, there are only 6 colors for the divine seal level, and they are fixed. The color of the strength attribute is not very important. Then let's talk about the attributes of the divine seal. The attributes of the divine seal are extremely complex. Metal, wood, water, fire, earth, wind, rain, thunder and lightning, or power type, speed type, defense type, healing type, and weapon type. Too many. But the only thing is, there is no alien type. This is why Su Liang has always been puzzled. I can't figure it out now. This is his secret and cannot be made public. The attributes of various divine seals will have different functions in the future, or the division of labor among the military department and the divine hunting team. Of course, the divine seal is not just one attribute, it may also be 2, 3, or even more. But this is not a good thing. Too many attributes mean that the power is mixed, unable to be specialized, and not pure enough. Just like a 500 milliliters bottle, with a single attribute, it can hold 500 milliliters of water. If the attributes are superimposed, it is water and oil, then the total can only hold 500 milliliters. The water becomes less, and the oil also becomes less. That's the truth. The more attributes there are, the more useless and uncomfortable. Su Liang's divine seal attributes in his previous life were wind and fire, which was barely enough. The wind gave him speed, allowing him to escape for his life again and again, and the fire gave him combat power, which was okay. And by Qianqian, the future Suzaku Empress. The SSS-level flame seal has a single attribute. Extremely powerful. Outstanding fighting power. Yang Biao, a B-level power seal, mainly focuses on strong strength. In his previous life, Su Liang called him a macho man. In this life, he is still a strong man. Over time. 2 hours have passed since I woke up. Su Liang raised his eyebrows slightly and glanced at the time. It seems like this is the time. Sure enough, the next moment. A burst of extremely terrifying black light emitted from a spiritual guidance pillar. S-level. The whole place is excited. The principal on the podium, as well as the dignitaries from the chosen academy, all stood up. S-level appears. Principal Liu was excited. At this moment, everyone's eyes were fixed on that student. The student himself looked confused at this time. He looked at the black light emitting from his divine seal with some disbelief. He was stunned for a moment, and then tears fell from the corners of his eyes. S-level. It's S-class. Change your destiny from now on. The ecstasy on his face gradually couldn't be hidden. As long as he works steadily, he will definitely be a 5-seal general in the future. It is even possible to become the 6-seal God King. In the future, he will become a lieutenant general in the military department, or even a 1-star general. The future is promising. This joy is hard to suppress. It's like getting over it. I saw my bright future. Who is that? Which class are you in? Everyone was envious. That's S-level. It's Wang Yan from class 28. He lives in a civilian area. My brother. Someone couldn't wait to tell everyone. It was even more enviable to hear that it was from a civilian area. Now a big shot is coming to the civilian area again. They all know that the appearance of such an S-class will definitely arouse the adulation of everyone. You must have a good relationship. Change your life from now on. Su Liang looked at that scene with a calm expression. Yang Biao next to him was almost excited to death. Brother Liang, it's S-level. Oh my god. If I could awaken an S-level, I would probably be so excited that I wouldn't sleep for a month. Yang Biao pulled Su Liang's clothes and shook them around. Su Liang pulled away angrily. How can there be so many S-classes? Just take a look. Su Liang remembered that there seemed to be no more than 10 people who could awaken S-level or above. Is it 7 or 8? This is already very extreme. One of them is an SSS level by Qianqian, and the other is an SS level boy, who seems to be a descendant of a big family in Chengdu. The rest are just S-class. It's just that the addition of Leng Lianshuang, an S-class member, to their class shocked too many people. In a class, there is not only an S-level, but also an SSS level. After a period of commotion, the consciousness continued. But many people still find it difficult to recover from that S-class experience. I dream of awakening to S-class. That Wang Yan was so excited that his whole body was shaking and he couldn't calm down for a long time. Time goes on. Su Liang and his team are in Class 7, and it is estimated that it will be in the afternoon. But no one felt tired, and everyone was extremely excited. Another hour passed. Black light appeared again, detonating the whole place. Another S-class. Many teachers were laughing so hard. Especially the teachers of the chosen academy. No matter how many S-levels there are, they must become their students. This is a good thing. Who doesn't like talented people in the future? Su Liang remained calm from beginning to end. It doesn't mean that after awakening to S-level, one will definitely become a god general or god king in the future. It is also possible to die midway. This kind of thing is normal. The future is uncertain. The higher the level, the greater the danger you will encounter in the future. And this evolutionary process is also very difficult. That requires an unknown amount of divine crystals to fill it. Of course, it is still possible to improve step by step and improve your survival rate. The higher the evolutionary level, the corresponding lifespan will be increased. The higher the status, the greater the wealth and power that can be obtained. Who doesn't want to awaken to S-class? But where can you find this? Later, the more she watched, the calmer Bai Qianqian became. Su Liang, what should I do if everyone gathers around me? Bai Qianqian asked in a low voice. She now subconsciously believes that she will awaken to the SSS level, and Su Liang's words are correct. Su Liang curled his lips and said, "Don't be afraid. The teachers from the chosen academy will protect you when the time comes. You can also choose not to speak." SSS level, that's awesome. Bai Qianqian nodded timidly, then just listen to Su Liang and just stay silent. Lang Lianshuang, who was in front of the team, was as cold as a Tianshan snow lotus. She looked at the scene in front of her and felt calm inside. S-level and above are rare. She recalled Su Liang's words that day in her mind. If you awakened an S-level divine seal, and I only awakened a C-level or B-level seal, would you still let me get close to you? Lang Lianshuang still insisted on her idea. If she was taller, then she and Su Liang were destined to be in two different worlds. If you are high, I can lick you. If you give up on me for Bai Qianqian, that's your loss. I will prove to you that you, Su Liang, are wrong. Can Bai Qianqian still awaken to S-level? She looked back at the two people who were talking quietly together. The eyes are complicated. Obviously they are so incompatible. Bai Qianqian is now skinny and looks like an ugly duckling. Su Liang is also a handsome boy, why would he choose her? Snort. As time continues to pass. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. As of now, a total of 5 S-classes have appeared. I'm envious of countless people. Of course, now, there are countless people who have ended sadly. Among them, there are many students who used to have S-level fighting skills. They have not even awakened the divine seal. That S-level has become a blank promise. It has no effect. Soon, it was finally their turn for Class 7. The first classmate has already started. Fail. The second one. Fail. The third one. Fail. It dampened the momentum of some students in Class 7. Finally arrived at the fourth one. Class B. Finally got some good news. Yang Biao's whole body was shaking. Brother Liang, it's about to begin. It's about to begin. Su Liang smiled helplessly and said, "Don't be so excited, just look away, in case you don't wake up." Bah, get out of here. I will definitely wake up. Su Liang smiled. Soon, it was Lang Lianshuang's turn in their class. The school beauty is about to awaken. What level of divine seal will she awaken? Why should the school beauties be assigned S ranks, right? Do you think S-class is just cabbage? Who knows? It may not be, or it may be any level. Lang Lianshuang is by Yueguang in the hearts of many students. She is really beautiful, with a pair of long, slender and round legs, and she is so fair that no flaws can be seen. That delicate face is even more captivating and has captured the hearts of many boys. Worshipped as a goddess, she is destined to attract the attention of many people. Just before she opened her long legs, she suddenly turned her head and looked at Su Liang behind her. It attracts everyone's attention. What does this mean? The moment their eyes met, it seemed as if they were sending some message to Su Liang. Su Liang looked indifferent. They were destined to be different people. As if seeing Su Liang's answer, Leng Lianshuang walked unswervingly to the divine guidance pillar. His long and slender jade hands pressed into the groove. A burst of electricity swept through his body. Wait quietly. For almost 30 seconds, black light shines. S-level. The school beauty is S-level. Ha ha ha. It's really S-level. As expected of the school beauty. Fortunately, the school beauty did not die. I am so happy. The school beauty Leng Lianshuang will still soar into the sky. Ha ha ha. Some boys are excited about this. How can such a beautiful girl not be awakened and succeed? Leng Lianshuang looked at the black light of her divine seal and breathed a sigh of relief. I was extremely happy, but I didn't expect that I would awaken to S-level. This is beyond unexpected surprise. The smile on her face could not be hidden. A slight smile can enchant a country or a city. The school beauty smiled. So beautiful. Ah. Let me kiss the school beauty Fangzi, even if I die. Chapter 31 I will cherish the Su Liang you look down upon with my life. Leng Lianshuang's happiness could not be hidden. Anyone who awakens to S-level will be so happy. This represents a road to heaven in the future. She will become the future genius in Chinese history. At this moment, Leng Lianshuang felt that her mentality had changed. She looked at Su Liang's position. I don't know if it's because Su Liang's words came true. Leng Lianshuang just wanted to show Su Liang. At this moment, their eyes met. Leng Lianshuang's mentality has changed. The teacher guided Leng Lianshuang to register. Teacher, wait a minute. I have a few words to say to my classmate. I will come over and register after I finish speaking. The teacher smiled and nodded. Okay, go and come back quickly. They are extremely tolerant towards the S-level chosen ones. The school beauty Leng Lianshuang walked towards class 7 with her slender legs. She is so proud. At this moment, the school bell was so out of this world, like the most beautiful Tianshan snow lotus in the whole room. She is light on her feet and extremely beautiful. But there is also a kind of temperament that avoids strangers. At this moment, the second middle school beauty Leng Lianshuang was completely different. Her future will be brilliant. She walked towards her classmates in class 7. Those students were all excited. The school beauty is here. Who is the school beauty looking for? Leng Lianshuang walked up to Su Liang and Bai Qianqian. Bai Qianqian was slightly nervous. What did she want to do? Su Liang had a cold expression on his face. Leng Lianshuang showed a smile that made some male classmates unsteady. The fragrance on her body is like the most deadly drug, consuming the soul. She smiled lightly. Su Liang, thank you for your assumption. Su Liang curled his lips. You're welcome, it's yours after all. Leng Lianshuang is no longer so cold, and her personality can be changed. She said with a gentle smile on her face, but you are right, I really can't do what you said. My mentality has changed. Su Liang said calmly, I understand, just continue to stick to your heart. We are destined to be different people. Leng Lianshuang smiled, don't be discouraged, what if you awaken to S-level? Su Liang remained indifferent, if you are here to say these things, you can leave. Leng Lianshuang was not annoyed and continued, I just feel that I have something to say clearly. I still think that my persistence is not wrong. You asked her to deliberately stimulate me. I admit that you succeeded and I am a little uncomfortable. But not anymore. Next, I'm waiting for your results. Su Liang glanced at Leng Lianshuang's smart eyes, and his heart stopped. Her meaning was clear. If Su Liang had awakened a divine seal below S-level, then there would be no other possibility between them. They became strangers, and there was a huge difference between them. She said these words just because Su Liang really stimulated her these days. Now that she has awakened to S level, she has the confidence to say these words. Su Liang looked calm. Okay, just wait. I'm most likely just a B level, so you don't have to think too much. Lang Lianshuang didn't speak anymore, but took a deep look at Su Liang. Then turned and left. It seems that there is no connection between them. The students on the side were confused. Is this their farewell? Only Bai Qianqian clenched her fists. His eyes gradually became firmer. Lang Lianshuang, I will cherish the Su Liang you despise with my life. S-class, isn't it amazing? Watching the school beauty Lang Lianshuang leave proudly. Su Liang looked at her back indifferently. This scene was not much different from the previous life. After she awakened, she seemed to be a different person, with every movement revealing pride and pride. Look at how proud she is. Su Liang felt nothing. But the next moment, a soft jade hand held his hand. Su Liang turned to look at Bai Qianqian. Bai Qianqian showed a gentle but firm smile. Su Liang, I will always stand by your side. Su Liang's eyes were a little dazed. Perhaps the biggest gain after my rebirth is the girl in front of me. Hope she can be firm. I will also work hard to become stronger. The consciousness continues. One after another, classmates came on stage. But this also means that more and more students are feeling sad. Finally, it's Su Liang's turn. Should I go first? Bai Qianqian asked. Su Liang said with a smile, I'll come first. The most dazzling ones will be left behind. I'll wait for you at the registration office. Bai Qianqian nodded. Yang Biao was still a little excited, so he chose to follow Su Liang. Brother Liang. Come on. That's all it takes to turn a bicycle into a motorcycle. Su Liang walked firmly towards the divine awareness guidance pillar step by step. I have already experienced this scene in my previous life. There shouldn't be any surprises, right? Su Liang came to the guidance pillar. Slowly put his palm on the position of the palm print. He took a deep breath. Come on then. At the same time, Lang Lianshuang's eyes were also locked on Su Liang. What kind of divine seal will he awaken? Is it really Class B? In the divine guidance pillar, it was like an electric current instantly invaded Su Liang's body. He closed his eyes. Feel that electric current flowing through your body. Then it converged at his arm. Su Liang knew that there was no surprise, it was a B-level divine seal with dual attributes of wind and fire. Just when Su Liang was about to give up, the current actually moved again. They actually gathered towards Su Liang's chest. Su Liang was stunned. Could it be that this beast mark is really a divine mark? It seemed that this was the first time that the current had encountered such a situation. After staying at the position of his beast mark for a short while, it separated part of its strength and returned to the position of his arm. And that was this moment. The divine guidance pillar in front of Su Liang began to tremble slightly. A blast of green light shot out. Class B. The teacher guarding him was not too surprised. Huh. But they still discovered something was wrong. Because among the B-level green light, they vaguely saw a hint of golden light. In fact, many people have noticed this small change. What's going on? Why is his B-level color wrong? Soon, the light disappeared. Su Liang looked at the green light flashing on his arm. It is indeed B grade. But what's going on with the golden light on his chest that only he can feel? Su Liang was shocked. Could it be that I have really become the unprecedented chosen one with the double divine seals? And this beast mark is still the terrifying SSS level? Su Liang didn't dare to be sure, this was simply unheard of. It's like a fantasy. But he is indeed able to use the power of the mark of the beast. What the hell is going on? Thousands of doubts appeared in his mind. Go down, Class B. The teacher's voice sounded. Su Liang came back to his senses. Obviously, the strange color just now didn't cause much trouble. It might just be an accident. After all, everyone knows that there are only a few colors at the divine seal level. It couldn't be otherwise. Yang Biao said excitedly, "Brother Liang, level B is already pretty good. I hope I can succeed too." Su Liang smiled, "You will succeed." Su Liang glanced at Bai Qianqian's position and gave her a look. Then walked towards the registration office. Naturally, he met Leng Lianshuang's eyes. Leng Lianshuang's eyes gradually became colder. Su Liang understood very well that at this moment, in her heart, she had completely drawn a clear line with him. And this was what Leng Lianshuang was thinking. "Su Liang, maybe you look okay and your performance in recent days is also okay. But it is what it is. You are only a B level, and I, Leng Lianshuang, am an S level. I am destined to shine brightly, and you, Su Liang, are extremely ordinary. I still firmly believe that my choice was correct. Between us, we are destined to be people in two worlds. I, Leng Lianshuang, really don't need your closeness and licking. Thank you for your like. We don't need to have anything to do with each other from now on. You continue to lick your Bai Qianqian. I am Leng Lianshuang, I don't need it anymore." Chapter 32 S-Level, Is it amazing? Su Liang really didn't feel much about Leng Lianshuang's gradually indifferent gaze. He didn't just meet Leng Lianshuang. He knew very clearly that this woman was like this. Just like some rich people, they look down on the poor from the bottom of their hearts. But in Su Liang's view, you, Leng Lianshuang, have awakened the S-level divine seal. I am no longer worthy of you, but you don't need to act like this, right? That's not how life works. People say that in 30 years to the east of Hedong and in 30 years to the west of Heshi, there is no telling what will happen in the future. Passers-by are just passers-by. I still don't lack jokes like you. I now have a female emperor. Su Liang withdrew his gaze and prepared to register. And that's it. In Yang Biao's round, a burst of extremely terrifying red light burst out from a spiritual guidance pillar in the distance. The whole place was dead silent for a moment. Then it was like a pot exploded. The teachers and leaders on the podium stood up excitedly. Those students wanted to pluck out their eyeballs and throw them into the red light. Red light, light. SS level. It's SS level. That touch of blood-red color struck the eyes of every student present. Many people were shaking. Unexpectedly, they had an SS level this time. Oh my God! It's SS level. It's really SS level. The future 7 Seal Divine Lord and the 8 Seal Divine Lord. Who? Iron confirmed General. Principal Liu and the others on the podium were equally shocked. An S level has just been released, and now another SS level is coming. What a big surprise. Principal Liu could not close his mouth from ear to ear. Lao Huang, the seedlings this time are good, aren't they? The leader of the chosen academy next to Principal Liu also smiled happily. Surprise, unexpected surprise. It's hard for us in Chengdu to produce an SS level 1, but we didn't expect it to happen. There is hope for the rise of our Chengdu city in the future. Must be cultivated well. The appearance of an SS class was enough to shock the entire Chengdu. This is very rare. Even in previous years, it was commonplace for 2 or 3 years in a row not to have an SS level. But this time, it appeared, and it was a big surprise. Of course, I hope that in other Shinjua schools, I can also get surprises this time. It would be better if there were a few more SS levels. The students scratched their heads with envy. Why can't it be them? He is Yi Qinghan. What? That Yi Qinghan from the Yi family. Who else could it be if he wasn't him? Holy crap. Who are you envying? Your family is so rich and powerful, and yet they even produce an SS level 1. This is to achieve enlightenment and ascend to heaven. I don't know how many classmates showed jealous looks. It feels so unfair. Su Liang's eyes flickered. Yi Qinghan. Descendants of the first family in Rongcheng. In their family, someone holds a high position in the military, and their family is extremely wealthy. They are truly rich. I remember as if in my previous life, Yi Qinghan found Qianqian after awakening to the SS level. He is very handsome and wants to seduce Bai Qianqian. In his opinion, only an SS level like him can be worthy of Bai Qianqian. In this session, if it weren't for Bai Qianqian, his divine seal level would already be the highest. In her previous life, Bai Qianqian was probably the most heartbroken at this time, so she wouldn't pay attention to him at all. She only wants to improve her level, and then kill all the alien beasts to avenge her mother. This life is different. Will she still talk to Yi Qinghan? Moreover, Leng Lianshuang seemed to want to lick him later, but he refused. It's really interesting. The fluctuation caused by Yi Qinghan made everyone present unable to calm down for a long time. So Shinjue paused for a moment. At this time, Yi Qinghan was enjoying everyone's attention. This feeling of being in the spotlight made him very happy. And he himself is very handsome. For a time, countless girls were completely immersed in it. Su Liang noticed that the arrogant Leng Lianshuang couldn't look away at this time. Maybe at this time she felt that only such a boy could be worthy of her. Su Liang chuckled, "You like others, but others don't like you. Just be shocked. Next, it's time to blind your eyes." At this time, Yang Biao had already run to Su Liang's side. With a smile on his face. "Brother Liang, I am also Class B." Su Liang smiled and nodded. "I told you that you are B-level, but you still don't believe me." Yang Biao was stunned. "Don't tell me, I really got it right. Can you really predict the future?" Su Liang smiled and said nothing. Yang Biao did not insist. "You are also AB, and I am also AB, together we are two, well." Su Liang covered his mouth. "If you can't speak, don't speak." Yang Biao took his hand away. "As for that? Isn't it just AB?" Su Liang rolled his eyes. "Shut up and watch the show." "What's the show?" Su Liang motioned him to look at Bai Qianqian, who was about to awaken. "You will know just by looking at it. What should really be shocking is about to appear." Yang Biao looked confused. Bai Qianqian started. Her soft little hands pressed on the guide pillar. Bai Qianqian's face was determined. "I believe Su Liang, what he said must be true. Leng Lianshuang, I will show you that S-level is nothing special." As a burst of electric power surged into her body. At this moment, the potential deep in Bai Qianqian's body seemed to be stimulated. The blood begins to boil. After the current entered her body, it began to gather towards the center of her eyebrows. There, an extremely terrifying pressure began to gather. At this moment, there were some high-level divine seals present, or those strong men who already had several seals. They all felt a special wave. That fluctuation actually suppressed their breathing. It was as if their divine seal had met their king. That is an absolute coercion. The expressions of the strong teachers and the people in the military suddenly condensed. Scanning the 10 divine guidance pillars. Who is it? They gradually became excited. Could they be about to witness a miracle? An indescribable emotion burst out from their hearts. In fact, they couldn't believe this feeling. That's about as long as it takes. Suddenly, the spiritual guidance pillar where Bai Qianqian was located. The initiative began to tremble. Immediately afterwards, the entire black guide pillar seemed to be on fire. A powerful force began to burst out from the lines on the guidance pillar. The light began to shine. At this moment, the entire Shinjue playground seemed to have lost all sunlight. Bright golden light burst out from the guidance pillar in front of Bai Qianqian. At the same time, Bai Qianqian's eyebrows also emitted a bright golden light, making her look like a goddess. Divine light. At this moment, those who were still immersed in the shock of Yi Qinghan's red SS-level divine seal. He turned his neck with difficulty and looked in Bai Qianqian's direction. All eyes were filled with golden light. The space is dead silent. Those eyes were about to burst out of their eyes. Su Liang finally raised the corner of his lips. It's safe to say, the Empress is back. Yang Biao beside him was already dumbfounded. He wasn't sure if what he saw was golden light. This is the thought of everyone present. Is that golden light? SSS-level golden light? In their city of Chengdu, it seems that there has never been an SSS-level golden light, right? A future divine sect, divine emperor is about to appear in their city of Chengdu. At this time, there was another person whose mind was about to collapse. Why? Why is she SSS level? She is not even S level or SS level, but the top SSS level. At this moment, Leng Lianshuang felt a strong sense of jealousy in her heart. Could it be that Su Liang suddenly came to Bai Qianqian after being rejected by her, not because he wanted to disgust her? Is it because he already knew that Bai Qianqian's awakened divine seal would be above hers? How is this possible? Is this considered a winning bet by Su Liang? Leng Lianshuang couldn't accept this result at all. She would rather Su Liang went to Bai Qianqian to disgust her. At this time, some students in Class 7 also had similar feelings. Still remember that sentence. Bai Qianqian, I'm covered. Damn, you beast. This sentence can get Bai Qianqian to protect him for the rest of his life, right? Bai Qianqian slowly opened her eyes. Feel your own golden light. Her heart calmed down. Su Liang didn't lie to her. She is really SSS level. The corners of her mouth quirked up slightly. From now on, it's me who will protect you. Chapter 33 The Biggest Winner. The whole place was so dead. Everyone couldn't believe what they saw. An SSS class finally appeared in Chengdu, destined to go down in history. Bai Qianqian slowly turned around and looked in the direction of Su Liang and Leng Lianshuang. It seemed to be looking at Su Liang, and also seemed to be looking at Leng Lianshuang, giving a warning. At this moment, the flame mark between her eyebrows exploded. A hot breath swept over the place. Everyone felt this fiery aura of supreme majesty. It's SSS level for sure. It's SSS level, that's right. It's SSS level. Ah. The future divine sect. Even the divine emperor. We in Rongcheng are about to rise. Everyone was breathing heavily. The entire playground was completely boiling. At this time, the leaders of the school, the Academy of the Chosen Ones, and the military personnel who had reacted could not sit still. He ran towards Bai Qianqian crazily. Witness this miracle up close. Those leaders and strong men surrounded Bai Qianqian. Su Liang also had a happy smile on his face. Leng Lianshuang glanced at Su Liang. Isn't he surprised at all? Did he already know that this would be the result? Impossible. Absolutely impossible. At this time, the students in Class 7 were equally incomprehensible. How could a silent ugly duckling in the class reach the SSS level? Those classmates who had bullied Bai Qianqian even began to feel uneasy. She wouldn't settle the score later, right? The leaders and military personnel surrounded Bai Qianqian. Classmate Bai. Please become a student of our chosen college. Our college will devote all its resources to training you. You are our future in Chengdu. Please don't leave Chengdu. Classmate Bai. On behalf of the military, we sincerely invite you to join the military. As long as you join, you can be directly appointed to the rank of Lieutenant General. You will be trained at the highest level by the military. Director Huang of the Chosen Academy could not sit still. Can your military department stop being so grandiose? She is the future hope of Chengdu, and she must stay in Chengdu now. The military is the best place to train her. She can directly choose to become a member of the 3 major legions of gods. Isn't this okay? Director Huang hurriedly said, Student Bai, as long as you go to our college, we can't give you a military rank. As long as it is given by the military, we will not give you any less. We have enough resources. Hey, can you compare to the military? Hey, can you represent the military? At this time, they started to fight fiercely. Bai Qianqian looked at the scene in front of her calmly. If Su Liang was really right, she would just have to say nothing. At this time, some former classmates also started talking. Qianqian, when you get stronger in the future, don't forget us classmates, my name is. Qianqian, my name is. Those who used to look down on Bai Qianqian have come over to kneel down and lick her. But Bai Qianqian didn't pay attention to any of them. At this time, the SS level Yi Qinghan also came over. He stretched out his hand with a cheerful expression. Hello, classmate Bai Qianqian, my name is Yi Qinghan. Could you please give me some advice in the future? This scene made those girls grit their teeth. Damn it, Bai Qianqian isn't beautiful at all, okay? She's skinny. He actually got Yi Qinghan's favor. From now on, they have the best chance of getting together. Yi Qinghan also had a confident smile on his face. He believes in his own charm, and this ordinary-looking girl will definitely accept him. Only girls like this will be worthy of him in the future. Although they don't look good now, they still have good foundation. If you raise them, they will look better. But Bai Qianqian didn't even look at him. Just ignore the crowd and walk in one direction. He left Yi Qinghan in the same place. Yi Qinghan kept the gesture of extending his hand and turned to stone. Am I being rejected? Yi Qinghan was stunned. This thin-looking Bai Qianqian doesn't like him? Impossible? Who else here can compare with him? Yi Qinghan withdrew his hand in embarrassment and turned to look over. I saw Bai Qianqian moving lightly with lotus steps, slowly approaching a person. The two big figures from the military department and the Chosen Academy are still chattering. But he followed Bai Qianqian's footsteps from beginning to end. Classmate Bai, please carefully consider the Academy of the Chosen Ones. You are from Chengdu, so you must think more about your hometown. Classmate Bai, don't listen to him. Go directly to the military headquarters. You will definitely be able to rise to prominence. The people who teach you will at least be the 8 seal gods. There will be endless resources. But from beginning to end, Bai Qianqian didn't say a word, she just walked towards Su Liang firmly. Classmate, you could just say something, don't be nervous. Classmate, no one can force you. You make your own choice. The Celestial Army is your best choice. Bai Qianqian still didn't speak. At this moment, everyone forgot about the need for divine awareness and locked their eyes on Bai Qianqian. At this time, Leng Lianshuang had a very bad feeling in her heart. Probably not. Doesn't she have any ambition? Now that she is SSS level, why should she care about a B-level Su Liang? No. Absolutely not. She should be the same, here to draw a clear line with Su Liang. Leng Lianshuang hoped that things would develop like this. Otherwise, she would feel like a person abandoned by Su Liang. Why? At this time, Su Liang was equally uneasy. Awakening to the SSS level will definitely affect a person's mentality. Will Qianqian change? Su Liang felt a little anxious. This is the key to your future. Of course, it would be okay if Qianqian wanted to have a relationship with him. After all, she was going to become the Suzaku Empress in the future. Su Liang only hoped that she would not be like Leng Lianshuang. At least recognize him as a friend. Every step Bai Qianqian took seemed to step on the hearts of Su Liang and Leng Lianshuang. Finally she came. He looked at Su Liang. Both men looked into each other's eyes. Soon, Bai Qianqian's eyes curved into a crescent shape, telling her current joy. Su Liang, I have really awakened to the SSS level. Bai Qianqian just wants to share this joy with Su Liang. Hearing this, Su Liang breathed a sigh of relief. He also showed a smile. Well, I'm happy for you. Bai Qianqian also smiled and nodded, yes. Leng Lianshuang felt like she was going to vomit blood. Why? At this moment, she seemed like a loser, and Su Liang was the biggest winner. Classmate Bai, please come to our college. Classmate Bai, come to the military headquarters. At this time, Bai Qianqian looked at the two important figures. It seems to be telling everyone. I will go wherever Su Liang goes. At this moment, the people in Class 7 were all sore. What a beast! B asterisk 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 D. He really won Bai Qianqian's heart. Why don't they have such a vision? Su Liang became the biggest winner. B asterisk 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 D. Because of your care in the last few days, I gained an SSS level divine chosen one, the future Shenzong. Damn, this is life. The students in class 7 were complaining so much that they were almost dying of pain. There are also those students who don't know the situation, and they have a question mark in their hearts. Why is he? He seems to be just a B, why can he be favored by SSS level geniuses? Besides being a B, what else is he? Do you want to make others envious to death? Director Huang asked curiously, who is Su Liang? What level? It's him. He is Su Liang, he is B. Yang Biao excitedly helped introduce. Director Huang and the big shot from the military department looked at Su Liang in surprise. A B? Good boy, has this captured the heart of a girl? Classmate Su. Please advise classmate Bai to go to the Academy of the Chosen to benefit Chengdu. Don't listen to him, go to the military headquarters. Only in the military headquarters can we have better conditions. Face the downpour of their mouths. Su Liang wiped his face embarrassedly. Don't worry, you too, I'll talk to her. Su Liang looked at Bai Qianqian with a smile. Qianqian, where do you want to go? In fact, you can make your own decision. Bai Qianqian shook her head, I will go wherever you go. I promised you. Su Liang's head warmed up when she heard this. She has not forgotten it. Su Liang showed a gentle smile. Okay, then go to the Chosen Academy. It seemed like the final word. Bai Qianqian also smiled gently, okay, let's go to the Academy of the Chosen Ones. Director Huang was about to jump for joy. This scene made all the classmates explode. Your uncle, an SSS level person, listens to a B level person? What is this? Damn, do you have a girlfriend? Why don't they have such girlfriends? Yi Qinghan was also dumbfounded. Did you lose to a B? Leng Lianshuang felt empty in her heart, which was why Su Liang didn't lick her. How ridiculous. She seems like a loser. The big shot in the military department suddenly became anxious. Student Su, don't worry, I know your rank is not high, but if it's for classmate Bai, I can make an exception and recruit you into the military department. Together, you can enjoy the same treatment. Whether it's resources or weapons, it's up to you to choose. S-class weapons are no problem either. This big shot in the military didn't want to miss such an SSS-level genius. Maybe in the future, this Bai Qianqian will also enter the army. But if he were sent to the military headquarters now, he would still have unimaginable benefits. Director Huang hurriedly said, Old Tang, don't mess around, they have already agreed to go to the academy. Student Su, don't listen to him. If you come to the academy, I will give you the same treatment as classmate Bai, no less. You can choose the weapons and resources you want. Old Tang snorted lightly, do you have S-class weapons? Director Huang glared, there are too many. Hearing this, the classmates who were also chosen by God were sour. What kind of fate is this? He is AB and enjoys the same treatment as SSS level. This is too much. But in fact, how could people like Director Huang not know this? How many resources can a B level use? Those are all small things. The main thing is to keep this SSS level. Su Liang said with a smile, no need to persuade anyone, just go to the Chosen Academy. Thank you very much for the military department's kindness. Qianqian's mother is also in Chengdu. She will grow up in Chengdu in the short term. Thank you all. Old Tang from the military department sighed. Missed the talent. He still said, don't make a decision in a hurry. I will report it to the military department. Others will come to talk to you at that time. I hope you can make a decision at that time. Su Liang nodded politely, knowing that someone would come. And this matter finally calmed down. After all, the divine consciousness will continue. Su Liang and Bai Qianqian looked at each other and smiled. This is the best result. Su Liang knew clearly that Qian wanted to stay here. In her previous life, she had gone all the way from the Chosen Academy to the Suzaku throne. In this life, of course, I have to be here. Fortunately, Qian didn't neglect him because of this. Everything is the best arrangement. Chapter 34 Want to live with Su Liang. The divine consciousness still continues. But it didn't stir up any excitement in everyone's hearts. Maybe it's because Bai Qianqian's SSS level has raised everyone's threshold. No matter what happened next, he seemed less excited. And there was no more S-class in the future. The highest level is only a level. 8S level and above appeared. Old Tang from the military department had already left in a hurry. He wanted to report the news himself. An SSS level, worth running for him personally. Director Huang of the Chosen Academy has been guarding Bai Qianqian for fear that Bai Qianqian will be abducted. But she just followed Su Liang from beginning to end. Her feelings for Su Liang will not change because of her divine seal level. Because it was Su Liang who helped her when she was the most helpless and weak. Protected her. Protected her. She had long made up her mind to protect him with her own life. She glanced at Su Liang quietly. From now on, let me protect you. This scene made all the boys and girls present extremely envious. Good guy, her Bai Qianqian's awakening of the SSS level divine seal is not a big deal, but Su Liang is the biggest winner. At this time, in a corner of the playground, Qi Hengqiu of the Gene Kill team stood together with a graceful woman. Captain, it looks like there is a surprise. If we can get this kid into our team, then this SSS level Bai Qianqian will be a natural thing. Xiaolan said in surprise. Qi Hengqiu said calmly, if Bai Qianqian comes, she will be the captain, and I will abdicate. Xiaolan said with a smile, I'm afraid we are really blessed. Qi Hengqiu shook his head, it's difficult. An existence like her will definitely be focused on by the military. Several major celestial army will come to recruit. It is very difficult to join the divine hunting team. Xiaolan didn't take it seriously and said with a smile, Captain, I can tell you have never been in love. You don't understand. Qi Hengqiu glanced at her, obviously you have been in love? Xiaolan shook her head, I haven't talked about it either, but I understand girls. A smile appeared on Qi Hengqiu's face. Let's go and contact them again in 2 days. Divine consciousness ends. Dispersed. People who feel successful go home and bring good news back home. Next, they don't have to come to school. After a few days of rest, you can go directly to the Chosen Academy to report. Regardless of level. Those who have not succeeded, take 2 days off, collect their emotions, continue school, and prepare for the college entrance examination. And soon, the news that an SSS level divine chooser has emerged from Shinjue No. 2 will reach everyone's ears. At the same time, the awakening status of each Shinjue middle school also came out. There are also 2 Shinjue middle schools, and 2 SS level chosen ones have also been awakened. There is no SSS level anymore, only Shinjue No. 2 middle school. As for other S levels, the situation in major middle schools is basically similar. Anyway, overall, the number of chosen ones above S level is less than 10. Only the 8th middle school has exactly 10, but all 10 are S level. Under the spotlight, Su Liang and Bai Qianqian left together. Everyone's eyes showed envy. And just when Su Liang was about to leave the playground, Su Liang keenly felt that there was a special gaze staring at him. Right in front of them. At that moment, their eyes met. Su Liang saw the boy with cold eyes. The other party just looked at him coldly and said nothing. But the coldness in his eyes is very obvious, he is an enemy rather than a friend. Su Liang also recognized the other party. Zhang Tianze, Zhang Tianhao's cousin. One of the S ranks in Shinjue too. It seemed like he was being targeted. Bai Qianqian asked, what's wrong? She also followed her gaze. Su Liang smiled, it's okay, just a little miscellaneous fish. Come on, let's go home. Bai Qianqian's eyebrows curved into small crescents, and she nodded, yes. watching Su Liang and the others leave. Brother Tianzi, is this guy the one who harmed Brother Tianhao? A boy next to Zhang Tianzi asked with a gloomy face. Zhang Tianzi nodded indifferently. The boy snorted coldly, pondered for a moment and said, that might be a bit troublesome. That Bai Qianqian seems to like him very much. Zhang Tianzi sneered, just a B-level trash. As time goes by, Bai Qianqian will naturally understand the gap between them. Bai Qianqian can't protect him for the rest of his life. We have plenty of time to torture him to death. The other boy nodded, yes. If he dares to go against my Zhang family, he is seeking death. Zhang Tianzi asked, what level has Tianhao awakened to? The boy replied, A level, just like me, but still have to be taken back and locked up while still having S***X. Zhang Tianzi nodded, this account must be settled. When they reached the school gate, Director Huang from the chosen college had already parked his special car at the gate. He was extremely enthusiastic and wanted to see them off. Su Liang knew his thoughts very well. Since he couldn't escape anyway, there was no need to refuse. When I get to the chosen academy in the future, with such a relationship, it will be very convenient to do some things. The two people got into Director Huang's car amidst the envious eyes of everyone. Along the way, he drove not fast. Director Huang kept smiling. Classmate Bai, your awakening of the SSS-level divine seal is the first time in our 300 years in Chengdu. It is destined to cause a sensation. I still hope you can think more about your hometown. We in Chengdu need people like you very much. Bai Qianqian seemed a little shy and looked at Su Liang. Su Liang said with a smile, Director Huang, Qianqian is still a little scared of strangers now. I know your thoughts and expectations. I can give you one sentence. We will definitely put Chengdu Chosen College as a priority, just like you said, this is our hometown. Director Huang breathed a sigh of relief, but he couldn't relax yet. Okay, thank you. If you think so, that's the best. Although our level in Chengdu is not high, our Academy of the Chosen Ones will definitely make every effort to direct resources toward student Bai. Su Liang smiled and nodded. Director Huang continued, next, you will rest for a few days, and then I will personally pick you up to go to the Chosen Academy. In the past few days, you can record any requests or needs you have, and the college will definitely be satisfied. Thank you, Director Huang. No, this is what it should be. Bai Qianqian didn't dare to speak much along the way. In her opinion, everything would be fine just listening to Su Liang. Not long after, they arrived at the door of Su Liang's house in the civilian area. Director Huang also got off the car together. Classmate Bai, do you live here? Director Huang was a little surprised. Bai Qianqian nodded timidly. Su Liang explained, Qianqian's house was destroyed a few days ago due to the invasion of bloodthirsty rats, so she is currently living in my house. Director Huang nodded, let's do this. Our college will give you a villa in the center of the city. You can move directly to the center of the city, which will be closer to the college. Bai Qianqian shook her head repeatedly, no, it's good to live here. She doesn't want to move out, she just wants to live with Su Liang. Su Liang smiled bitterly. This is the value brought by the SSS class. As long as you want it, they can give you anything. A villa in the city center. That's an astronomical price. Things that ordinary civilians would never dare to think about. But here in Qianqian, you can get it easily. Director Huang said with a smile, classmate Bai, don't refuse in a hurry. When you go to the college will also assign you a house. If you don't want to live in the college, you can live in a villa. Your privacy is also protected. Evolution is beneficial. You can still live here when you go home. It doesn't matter. This matter is settled. I will go back and take care of it now and send you the key tomorrow. Hearing this, Su Liang was speechless for the first time, and his enthusiasm was really to the limit. I won't give you a chance to refuse. Bai Qianqian looked at Su Liang. Su Liang said with a smile, the fact that you can take it can be regarded as the college's sincerity. The value you bring to the college in the future will be worthy of such a villa. Director Huang immediately smiled and said, yes, yes, Student Su is right. Don't feel any psychological burden. You deserve this. Well, I won't disturb you for now. I'll go back right away to prepare everything else for you. Su Liang smiled and nodded, thank you for your hard work. It's not hard, it's not hard. Director Huang left happily. Bai Qianqian looked at Su Liang doubtfully. I have agreed to go to the Academy of the Chosen Ones, why are they still so enthusiastic? Su Liang laughed, where are you? In the next few days, the threshold of our family will be stepped on by others. Not only the military, but also the 3 major armies of gods, the colleges of the chosen ones in high-end cities, and some of the top families in China will come to recruit you. I don't want it, I don't like it. It's okay, I'll help you block it. Bai Qianqian smiled sweetly, okay. Chapter 35 There is no meaning without you. Inside the courtyard. Lu Xian was completely confused. Qianqian, Xiaoliang, you two are not joking with me? Lu Xian felt like she was going crazy. SSS level? What concept? She also went to school and participated in the Divine Enlightenment, which is the top divine seal talent. As long as he grows up steadily, he will definitely become a top figure in China. Su Liang smiled and said, Auntie, we are not joking with you. You will know tomorrow and our threshold will be broken. Bai Qianqian also smiled and said, Mom, it's really SSS level, look. Bai Qianqian was a little unfamiliar with sensing the flaming divine seal between her eyebrows. Soon, a golden light flashed. Lu Xian's eyes were red, and her tears soon burst. She covered her mouth and looked at the divine seal between Bai Qianqian's eyebrows. Finally got through it. Su Luochen on the side looked at the golden divine seal and couldn't help but be a little shocked. I really didn't expect that a brat like me would actually bring back an SSS level person. Bai Qianqian hugged Lu Xian's arm. Mom, you don't have to endure hardship in the future. I will work hard to evolve and help you live a good life. Lu Xian really didn't know what to say. She couldn't react. If she didn't suppress it, she really felt like she would carry it in one breath. Su Luochen said with a smile, let's not talk about anything else. I must celebrate the girl today. Come on, I'll take the spoon. Su Liang and Bai Qian smiled lightly. Bai Qianqian helped Lu Xian into the house and sat down. She didn't come back to her senses for a long, long time. Su Liang ran to the kitchen to help his grandfather. Su Liang hummed a tune. The old man concentrated on cooking. He took out some of his wealth. Meat and vegetables were all available, and Su Liang was confused, where did Grandpa get them? In this era when supplies are so scarce, he can always come up with so many good things. Ham, beef, pork, and half a chicken. But I don't want to ask now. Watching Su Liang enjoying it. The old man was silent for a moment and asked, aren't you afraid that girl will alienate you in the future? Su Liang was stunned for a moment by his sudden words. The movements in his hands froze. Why hasn't he thought about it? In the future, whatever Qian experiences and the people she meets will widen the distance between her and him. The things she comes into contact with are all top-notch in the world. But do we need to be afraid of this? Su Liang smiled calmly, Grandpa, there is nothing to be afraid of. If Qian really alienates me, then I don't care. This is her normal trend. She's destined to evolve along the way, it's inevitable. If I am afraid because of this, and then try my best to keep her by my side, that would be the saddest thing about me. If she leaves, I can't keep her. I won't be disappointed, but I believe she won't alienate me. Su Luochen looked at his grandson. Nodding, it's good if you think so, I'm afraid you won't be able to accept it in the future. Su Liang smiled and shook his head, there's nothing I can't accept. Su Luochen nodded, well, as long as you understand. Su Liang was silent for a moment, maybe he shouldn't stay? Maybe he would reach the top like Bai Qianqian? After all, he has a golden beast-shaped divine seal. On the other side, inside the house. It took Lu Xian a long time to come back to her senses. Bai Qianqian excitedly said to Lu Xian, "Mom, the college has promised to give me a villa in the city center. Then you can live with us. You no longer have to suffer here, and it's safer over there." Hearing this, Lu Xian was silent for a moment. "Qianqian, Xiaoyang is B grade?" Bai Qianqian nodded naturally, yes. Lu Xian looked at her innocent daughter and said with a complicated expression, "Then in the future." Bai Qianqian seemed to understand what her mother wanted to say. "Mom, no matter how high I reach in the future, I will never leave Su Liang. I don't care what anyone says. Without him, you and I would have died in the mouths of bloodthirsty rats." Hearing this, Lu Xian felt a little relieved. But her heart is complicated. This is when her daughter is innocent now. When she grows up and has a high level of evolution in the future, will she still think like this? There are too many things in reality that will cause collisions between them in the future. It's like being in the wrong place. But let's talk about this later. "Mom, when the time comes, you can live with us in the city center, and take Grandpa Su with you." Lu Xian smiled and shook her head, "No, it's fine if we live here. It's for you. I'm not used to it at all when I go there, and Subo probably doesn't want to go either. I won't think about those things for the time being." Bai Qianqian nodded, "Okay." It didn't take long for a table of sumptuous meals to be ready. 4 people sat together. Bai Qianqian looked surprised. "Wow! I've never seen such a sumptuous meal." Su Luochen smiled and said, "Today, girl, you have awakened to the SSS level. Grandpa, I have to celebrate for you no matter what. Eat more today. Feed yourself up early and be fat." Bai Qianqian was a little embarrassed. "Thank you, Grandpa Su." Su Luochen smiled kindly, "You're welcome, come on, I'm happy today, you are adults, let's all have a drink." Su Liang quickly poured it for everyone. Everyone raised their glasses together and took a small sip. It's like a family, having fun. After Su Luochen took 2 sips of wine. "Girl, you have awakened the SSS level, have you considered going directly to the military headquarters?" Hearing this, Bai Qianqian and Su Liang were both stunned. Bai Qianqian seemed to be drinking a little wine. Her face was flushed. And a little dizzy. Said, "Grandpa Su, I am not going to the military headquarters. Su Liang is going to the academy. I want to be with him." As soon as these words came out, Su Luochen, Lu Xian and Su Liang all looked at Bai Qianqian. The colors in everyone's eyes are different. Bai Qianqian seemed to wake up suddenly and felt a little embarrassed. His face turned redder and he lowered his head. I don't dare to go to the military headquarters alone. I'd better follow Su Liang." Su Luochen showed a kind smile, "Okay, it's up to you. With your level, it will be the same wherever you go." Su Liang breathed a sigh of relief. He felt like he had become a stumbling block for Bai Qianqian. In fact, it is indeed the best choice for Bai Qianqian to go directly to the military headquarters. You can skip too many intermediate processes and directly become a member of the Celestial Army. In the Celestial Army, you can get better experience. Maybe we should have a good chat with her about this matter. The meal was almost done, and Qian Qian was in a tipsy state. Su Luochen said with a smile, "In the next few days, the power of your divine seal will gradually enrich your body. You should understand it well." Bai Qianqian and Su Liang both nodded. They know all this. After awakening, the power of the divine seal will flow out from the divine seal little by little and enter every corner of their bodies. Their strength, mental perception, etc. will all become stronger. Depending on the level of the divine seal, the level of power awakened will also be different. Su Liang called Qianqian to the yard, and the 2 of them sat under the night sky. Lu Xian and Grandpa are cleaning up. Qianqian. Actually, Grandpa is right. Going to the military is your best choice. You will grow the fastest and best there. Bai Qianqian's face was flushed, and she asked with a drunken and naive smile, "Are you going then?" "I won't go. If I use your name to enter the military headquarters, I will only be at the bottom. It doesn't mean much. Bai Qian smiled slightly and said, then I won't go. Where are you? I'll be right there. Su Liang looked at her and smiled bitterly, this way I always feel like I'm delaying you. Bai Qian shook her head, without you, I wouldn't be able to survive until now, and I also promised you that I will protect you in the future. Isn't it? Su Liang felt a little warm in his heart when he saw Bai Qian's sincere look. Could it be that she really had that kind of affection for him? Bai Qian looked up at the starry sky and said softly, a place without you means nothing to me. I made up my mind from the day you stood up for me. At this moment, Su Liang didn't care about anything else. He hugged Bai Qian into his arms and hugged her tightly. Bai Qian was confused. The blush on her cheeks had just subsided a little, and suddenly turned red again. Su Liang hugged me, oh, asterisk forward slash 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 asterisk, Q. Bai Qian's whole body was so stiff that she couldn't move. I feel like my whole body is running out of energy. Su Liang's gentle voice sounded in Bai Qian's ears. Qian, thank you. Chapter 36 Kidnapping the Empress to be my wife. Bai Qian lay in bed at night, unable to calm down for a long time, and even didn't sleep much all night. She was immersed in the excitement of being held by Su Liang. The heart of spring is stirring. On the other side, Su Liang was sitting on his bed. He took off his shirt. He looked at the divine seal on his arm that represented the dual attributes of wind and fire, and smiled bitterly. It's really exactly the same. This divine seal is similar to a cloud pattern, as if it is being rolled by fire. The power of the divine seal is slowly awakening. Now, he is considered a first-level God's chosen one. From now on, you only need to use the divine seal to slowly absorb the energy of the divine crystal, and then slowly evolve. Then he looked at the beast mark of the red-eyed Tianlin on his chest. You can still vaguely see a bit of golden light. Is this a divine seal? He could vaguely feel that there was power awakening in the beast mark. Integrate into his body. It's just weird. He was completely confused and couldn't figure it out at all now. Never mind. Shinjue succeeded, and he wanted to see if his attribute panel had changed. Entering into a slumber, my mind moved. He was quickly pulled into that mysterious space. I saw those beast eyes again. I don't care about it for now. The control panel pops up. Beast Energy Transformation. Conversion Progress 36/10000000. Beast Talent, Eye of Insight 1. Divine Seal, B-Level Wind and Fire Seal, 1 Seal, Level 1. Divine Seal Evolution Progress, 1%. Beast God Seal, SSS-Level Red-Eyed Celestial Lin Seal, 1 Seal Level 1. Evolution Progress of Beast God Seal, 1.9%. Spirit 18+1/100. Strength 25+1/100. Agility 18+1/100. Speed 18+1/100. Su Liang seemed to have seen it wrong. He rubbed his eyes vigorously. Beast God Seal? Su Liang was completely dumbfounded and was stunned for a long time. SSS-level Beast God Seal. It's really the red-eyed Tianlin. His whole body froze, and it took him a long time to react. An ecstatic emotion filled his whole body, and his whole body was trembling. He screamed in surprise. Su Liang's eyebrows and eyes were full of ecstasy, and the corner of his mouth was even harder to suppress than AK. Ha ha ha, I, Su Liang, am also SSS level. Su Liang felt like his eyes were filled with tears. He knew that in this life, his destiny was different. He also has the opportunity to join the 9 Seal Divine Sect, or even become the 10 Seal Divine Emperor. Although he didn't know why it was the Beast God Seal, he thought it should be the same, right? However, the existence of the Beast God Seal is absolutely rare in the world, and he should be the only one in the entire world. This secret must be hidden. Never let anyone know. After a long time, Su Liang suppressed his excitement a little. I took a deep breath for a long time. But there was still a smile on his face, and he continued to look over. All 4 attributes have been increased by 1 point. But the conversion progress has not changed, it is still 36 points. This means that a point added to all 4 attributes should be the change brought about by his divine consciousness. Su Liang thought about it secretly. At 11 points of strength, he was able to defeat Liao Yuqian, the 10th level 1 seal divine chooser. At 16 points of strength, he was able to completely torture the young man Zhang Tianhao found. That young man should be just a level 10 divine chooser with a C-level divine seal. With his 16 points of strength, he had no power to parry at all. In other words, even if they are level 10, the chosen ones with C-level divine seals cannot reach 16 points in strength. Maybe even lower than 10 points. Now that he has succeeded in divine consciousness, all 4 attributes have been increased by 1 point, which may just correspond to the power of his B-level divine seal level 1. In other words, when the B-level God's chosen is at level 10, his strength will not be very strong, maybe only a dozen points, or around 20 points at most. Then the 10 points of his initial 4 attributes are most likely the initial power brought to him by the SSS-level Beast God seal. Well, this should be the truth. Su Liang thought to himself. In other words, there are 2 ways for him to improve his attribute values in the future. The first is to obtain beast crystals and improve them through the transformation of beast energy. The second is to evolve the divine seal itself and absorb the power of the divine crystal to improve it. Thinking of this, Su Liang was frightened. Then how terrifying will your strength become in the future? It is possible that he is still a 2-seal divine envoy, but his own strength may far surpass that of the divine envoy. Have the ability to leapfrog challenges. After all, his power now exceeds that of ordinary God's chosen ones. Those C-level divine envoys with 2 seals are probably no match for him now. The corners of Su Liang's mouth curled up slightly, which was a good thing. In this way, you will only become stronger and stronger. He truly has the right to speak in this world. He exits this space. I couldn't calm down for a long time. Lying in bed, I couldn't sleep. Does this mean that I am qualified to stand side by side with Qianqian? Su Liang showed a smirk on his lips. Is it possible to kidnap the future empress and become my wife? Hey. This night, neither of them could sleep. Until the next morning, both of them had dark circles under their eyes. The 2 of them went out at almost the same time, both wearing pajamas. When they saw each other, they couldn't help but blush. Su Liang, morning. Qianqian, morning. Su Liang grinned, showing a row of white teeth. I realized that I was still wearing pajamas. Bai Qianqian ran back to the room shyly. Just when he was passing by the threshold, that seemingly light kick directly smashed the threshold into pieces. It exploded instantly. Su Liang's face twitched. He was worthy of being an SSS level, but fortunately he had already been able to control it. This is a sign that the power awakening cannot be perfectly controlled. Seeing the threshold being stepped on, Bai Qianqian was a little panicked. Am I in trouble? Su Liang smiled and said, It's okay, it's normal. Let's go change clothes. Bai Qianqian's face turned red. Oh, okay. Grandpa also stuck his head out. Well, this is the normal reaction of the SSS level. It is estimated that no one among the ordinary 10th level chosen below S level can match her in strength. Su Liang glanced at Grandpa. He raised his eyebrows slightly. In other words, the higher the level of the divine seal, the higher the initial physical attribute value of awakening. Of course, this also corresponds to the fact that upgrading and evolution also requires more time and resources. Overall it was good, although I didn't sleep a night. But Su Liang still felt full of energy. While I was still brushing my teeth, there was a knock on the yard door. Boom, boom, boom. As soon as I felt it, I could already feel several people appearing outside the door. Su Liang raised his eyebrows slightly. Coming. Su Liang responded. Open the door. There were 3 people in neat suits standing at the door, and a luxury car was parked outside the courtyard. The 2 next to them look a little younger, in their 30s, and the one in the middle is older, in their 50s or 60s. Su Liang felt a touch of pressure from them. Especially the one in the middle. Su Liang asked politely, "Who are you?" The middle-aged man in the middle smiled and said, "Are you Su Liang?" Su Liang nodded, "Yes, I am." The middle-aged man smiled and said, "Hello Su Liang, I am Zhao Kangshua, Commander-in-Chief of the Rongqing Military Headquarters." Zhao Kangshua stretched out his hand. Su Liang's pupils trembled. "Lord City Lord?" Zhao Kangshua smiled and nodded. "As for the title City Lord, I still like others to call me Commander-in-Chief or Commander." Su Liang was shocked. Early in the morning, the City Lord blocked the door. Can you believe it? Zhao Kangshua, the Lord of Rongqing, the Commander-in-Chief and Commander-in-Chief of the Rongqing Military Department. More than 50 levels of Six-Seal God King. This is almost the strongest person in their Chengdu. Su Liang quickly stretched out his hand to shake hands. Such a character should still be respected. He possesses military merit, otherwise he would not be able to become the Lord of Rongqing. The faint coercion emanating from Zhao Kangshua made him feel solemn unconsciously. Of course, it was not like he had never dealt with the God King in his previous life. But this kind of door-to-door situation has never been encountered before. Zhao Kangshua smiled and asked, "Su Liang, Bai Qianqian is living in your house now, right?" Su Liang nodded, "Well, yes, Commander, come in and talk." Su Liang made a gesture of invitation. Zhao Kangshua smiled and nodded, but he was the only one who came in. The other 2 people stood directly at the door and acted as door gods for his family. Them. Zhao Kangshua smiled and said, "Don't worry about them. The main thing is that I want to come and meet this SSS-level guy in Chengdu." Su Liang did not insist. Just when it was closing, I glanced at both sides of the block. Good guys, there are people. These people probably won't show up until the City Lord leaves. Zhao Kangshua walked into the small courtyard and looked around. Under the melon fields and plum trees, there was a clear fish pond. The corners of his mouth were slightly raised. This old man is quite comfortable. Su Liang shouted, "Grandpa, Qianqian, Auntie, the City Lord is here." With a greeting, Lu Xian and Qian Qian both leaned out. "City Lord." Lu Xian was shocked. The City Lord arrived in person. She quickly wiped the water stains on her hands. Zhao Kangshua smiled and looked at the timid Bai Qianqian. "Bai Qianqian, hello, I am Zhao Kangshua." Bai Qianqian was a little at a loss. "Hello, hello." Zhao Kangshua smiled and said, "Don't be nervous, I'm just here to meet you and have a brief chat with you." Bai Qianqian seemed a little panicked. "I'm not going to the military headquarters, I want to be with Su Liang." Zhao Kangshua was stunned for a moment and laughed dumbly. Sure enough, if Bai Qianqian wants to go to the military headquarters, he still has to start with Su Liang. What a lucky boy, he won the hearts of girls at such a young age. Do you have to use force? Chapter 37 Coming in droves. City Lords Zhao Kangshua, Su Liang, and Qianqian's mother and daughter sat together. Zhao Kangshua is using his sharp tongue to persuade. There was a faint smile on Su Liang's lips. The words Qian Qian just blurted out, it was so interesting. Think about it, the aloof and unparalleled Suzaku Empress in her previous life is now so cute. Well, the goal is set, to abduct the Empress to be his wife. Zhao Kangshua said a lot. For your growth and evolution, the military is definitely your best choice. Whether it is resources or teachers, the military can give you the best conditions. After all, the military is the real leader of China. Bai Qianqian remained unmoved. He lowered his head and said, "Where is Su Liang? I am Zhao Kangshua. Good guy, oil and salt are not allowed to enter." Zhao Kangshua smiled bitterly in his heart. This little girl was now completely dominated by Su Liang. Zhao Kangshua can only switch goals. "Su Liang, for the sake of classmate Bai's future, you should persuade her that going to the military headquarters is her best choice. You must consider the overall situation. You can also go to the military headquarters together. There is no problem. Everyone looked at Su Liang together. Su Liang smiled and said, "Commander, I actually understand what you said. I also yearn for the military headquarters, and even more so for the three major armies of gods. But my upper limit is here, and my achievements are destined to be limited." It was impossible for him to tell anyone about the beast god seal, so he could only treat himself as a loser. "Even if, Commander, you promise me that you will give me a very high treatment now, I believe it, but what will happen over time? As a B-level person with such good resources in the military department, how many people will I receive cold looks from? How many people will look down on me? The pressure I will bear is unimaginable. In the future, I may disappear in a corner. This is not the life I want. The military attaches great importance to strength, so the result I guessed is bound to happen." In fact, Su Liang had another reason for not wanting to go to the military headquarters. He went to the military headquarters. Perhaps the secret of his beast god seal will be known to many people. Hearing these words, even Zhao Kongshua was slightly surprised. He didn't expect that Su Liang, an 18-year-old young man, could see so far. Zhao Kongshua smiled bitterly. "What you said does make some sense. But what about Bai Qianqian? You should also think about her, right? Are you not willing to sacrifice a little for her?" Su Liang grinned and spread his hands. "Commander, actually I never stopped Qianqian from going to the military headquarters. I even persuaded her to go to the military headquarters last night. But she won't go." Zhao Kongshua. "Playing a rogue, right?" "Oh, why don't you understand?" Zhao Kongshua said helplessly. At this moment, the old man Su Luochen walked out with several cups of tea. Zhao Kongshua stood up immediately. When I wanted to salute him, I was stopped by the old man's look. Su Liang was a little suspicious. Zhao Kongshua seemed a little excited. Zhao Kongshua looked a little embarrassed. "Old man." Su Luochen said with a smile on his face, "Commander, the military headquarters is a good place, but we elders must also respect the ideas of young people, right?" Zhao Kongshua smiled and nodded repeatedly, "Yes, yes, yes. It must be based on their subjective wishes, and no one can force them." Zhao Kongshua's posture resembles that of a young man. Su Liang was confused. "Why do you, a six-seal god king, treat this little old man of mine with such respect? Do you respect the old and care for the young so much?" The words he just spoke to them were still reprimanding. Su Luochen smiled slightly. "This girl's SSS-level divine seal, in fact, no matter where she is getting experience, and there is a high probability that she will become a member of the military in the future, so there is no rush at this moment. In the future, girl, after you enter the military headquarters, you can mention your hometown and the Chengdu military headquarters more. I believe the commander will take good care of you." Bai Qianqian was a little confused, but she nodded. "Grandpa Su, I remember." A smile appeared on Zhao Kongshua's face. "Old man, you're welcome. In that case, it seems that my mission today has failed, and I should go back to deliver it." Su Luochen smiled and said, "What's the hurry? Let's have breakfast together." Zhao Kongshua waved his hands repeatedly. "Old man, if you're too polite, I won't disturb you anymore." Su Luochen smiled and nodded. "I won't be polite to you." Zhao Kongshua smiled and nodded. "You're welcome, old man." Zhao Kongshua stood up and everyone saw him off. When I walked to the door, Zhao Kongshua said, "Everyone, I only represent the general military. According to the news I received, the three major celestial armies will also come to recruit." Su Liang's head moved slightly. What a boy, the three major armies of gods are actually sending people over. The old man smiled and said, "It's the same. If the girl doesn't want to go, no one can force her, right?" Zhao Kongshua smiled awkwardly and nodded, "Indeed. The old man will stay, so I'll take my leave first." Su Luochen smiled and nodded. Under the watch of everyone, Zhao Kongshua got into the car and left quickly. In the car, Zhao Kongshua was sweating profusely. Damn it, He didn't stop for a moment and almost. Su Liang glanced at his grandfather suspiciously. Grandpa just looked at him, as if he understood what he was thinking, but would not say anything about it. Instead, he said, "You can understand that it is not a good thing for you to enter the military department, which proves that you still have some brains." Su Liang. "Grandpa, do I usually look stupid?" Su Luochen glanced at him and said calmly, "It's just so. There will be many people coming to give gifts in the future. You can weigh it yourself. I won't show up one by one." Su Liang and Bai Qianqian nodded. "Grandpa, if someone else comes to give you a gift, will Qianqian accept it or not?" The old man's rickety body slowly turned around. "As long as I don't have any grudges against you, it's okay to accept it. I won't lose anyone's face. You are still relatively weak. Anyway, it's just a familiar gift, so it's harmless." Su Liang nodded, "I understand." Grandpa entered the house. Lu Xian took her daughter and asked, "Qianqian, have you really thought about it?" Bai Qianqian nodded firmly, "Mom, I've thought about it. I won't go to the military headquarters, I want to be with." When it came to the latter part, Bai Qianqian was embarrassed to say it. "But everyone who understands understands." Lu Xian nodded, "Since you have thought about it, Mom won't say anything more. You two can handle it yourself. Su Bo is right, you young people's affairs should be decided by your own will." Bai Qianqian hummed and nodded heavily. He glanced at Su Liang secretly, then lowered his head and raised the corner of his mouth. Su Liang looked at the sky and the earth, everything was silent. Not long after, their door was knocked again. The neighborhood where their house is located is getting busier and busier. Many people were very surprised. Why are so many people running to Mr. Su's house? Is this developed? Many people don't know the truth. Although many people know that there is an SSS class in Chengdu, but it is a girl. Mr. Su only has one grandson, right? Su Liang and the others continued to receive those people. Representatives from several other major cities' chosen colleges came at once. Among them are some college representatives from third-level cities and second-level cities. They all came to recruit Bai Qianqian to enroll in their college with extremely generous conditions. The value represented by an SSS level is immeasurable. The future Shenzong, its status is something you don't even need to think about. Everyone was working hard. What conditions are you willing to give? For example, all the material resources of the academy, equipment resources, and some special training venues can be used unconditionally. Then there are the number of S levels and SS levels each academy has recruited. There are also SSS levels. Only by going to them can you grow better. Su Liang and Bai Qianqian listened to them politely, but they still rejected them one by one. Or just asked them to go back and wait for a reply. Anyway, one wave after another was sent away. Just for the chosen academy in the third-level and second-level cities, there are 20 or 30 schools. The threshold is really about to be crossed. This was the first time Qian had seen such a scene, and she was often made afraid to speak. Now she is hiding under Su Liang's wings and is still very timid. After sending these people away, some big local families in Chengdu and some special chosen forces came to get familiar with each other and give them gifts. Based on what Grandpa said, Su Liang and Qian accepted some daily necessities. Some people directly gave away divine crystals, equipment, and battle armor. But they were rejected by Su Liang and the others, as they didn't want to take too much from them. They will all have these things in the future. The one who takes the person is short-handed and the one who eats the person is soft-mouthed. He didn't lose anyone's face, nor did he put too heavy a burden on Qianqian. The old man knew clearly everything Su Liang did in the room. The corners of his mouth were slightly raised, quite satisfied. I was busy until the afternoon, and the number of talents gradually decreased. Both of them felt exhausted. Su Liang, it turns out that awakening the SSS class is so tiring, and they all look happier than me. Qian said with her lips curled up. Su Liang smiled, it's okay, it's just a matter of the past 2 days. However, Bai Qianqian felt very happy when she looked at the almost mountain of daily necessities in the house. I feel like I can eat it for a year or two, and it seems to be pretty good. Su Liang smiled and said, those who were rejected by us will be replaced with daily necessities, which will probably be enough for a lifetime. Bai Qianqian felt a sense of regret. Stop it, if you collect those things, you will be in great trouble in the future. It didn't take long. Someone else is coming. When they appeared at the door, Su Liang and Bai Qianqian were stunned for a moment. Somewhat surprised. Only 2 people came in. There was a middle-aged man, a peer of theirs, and someone they knew. Yi Qinghan. Shenjue No. 2 Middle School, SS-Level Divine Seal Chosen 1. The first family in Chengdu, the Yi family. Chapter 38 Domineering Husband. Su Liang was a little surprised by Yi Qinghan's appearance. He is a hottie now, but he didn't expect to come here. Yi Qinghan's eyes were instantly locked on Bai Qianqian. Showing that signature male smile, hello, classmate Bai, we met yesterday, I am Yi Qinghan. Yi Qinghan stretched out his hand again, wanting to shake hands politely. But Bai Qianqian didn't do this at all. He moved a little closer to Su Liang. Su Liang held Yi Qinghan's hand. Hello, I know you are the only SS-level member of our Shenjue No. 2 Middle School. I'm glad to meet you. I'm a little shy. I'm sorry. Come and sit down. Being held by Su Liang, a Class B. A cold feeling flashed in Yi Qinghan's heart. Can any rubbish shake hands with him? If it weren't for Bai Qianqian, he wouldn't even deserve to be in front of him. Yi Qinghan's face stiffened for a moment and he quickly retracted his hand. It seemed a little disgusting. Su Liangkai was too lazy to pay attention to him. Want to touch my future wife's hand? Dream on you. Huh, are you Su Liang? The middle-aged man next to Yi Qinghan said. Su Liang looked at the middle-aged man with a smile. Well, I am, uncle, who are you? Yi Jinqi smiled and said, I am Qinghan's father, Yi Jinqi. I came here to visit you today. A small gift would not be disrespectful. While talking, Yi Jinqi directly took out some things from his space converter and placed them neatly on the ground. Good guy, there are tons of divine crystals. A-level weapons. Source crystal weapons, personal armor. They are all good things, but obviously, the weapons and armor are all prepared for Qian, not him. Oh, uncle, you are too polite. You can't do it without getting rewarded for your merits. Yi Jinqi smiled and shook his head, as the only one in Chengdu, and also an SSS level awakened like my son in Shenjue No. 2 Middle School, he deserves it. Just don't refuse. I also brought my son here to get to know Mr. Bai and build a good relationship. After all, in the future, you are the hope of our Chengdu and we should get along well. Yi Jinqi was very direct, revealing both inside and outside his words that he wanted Yi Qinghan and Bai Qianqian to get together. As for Su Liang, at best it's a jack for repairing cars. Su Liang sneered, you want to steal my wife? Is Yi Qinghan worthy of her? However, he still said without blushing, Chief Yi, there's really no need. If Qianqian wants these things, the military department and the Chosen Academy can bring a few trucks at any time. Besides, if Qianqian doesn't like these things and they are not suitable, there is no use in keeping them. You two should take them back. Su Liang sneered, what are you pretending to do? Yi Jinqi looked at Su Liang with some surprise. Is this a bit gunpowder? Young people really have no vision at all. If Bai Qianqian hadn't been there, would he be worthy enough to talk to him here? Yi Jinqi chuckled, well, I know that classmate Bai wants these things, so of course someone will rush to deliver them. I have no other intention. I just want Qinghan and classmate Bai to get to know each other. They will have a great chance to get together in the future. Those who grow up will inevitably have to fight together when they become gods, generals and kings. Yi Jinqi is naturally an old fox, a divine general and a divine king. You, a B-level person, will never be able to touch him in this life. It's just a small gift, classmate Bai, you'd better accept it. Yi Qinghan took a brief look at the surrounding situation. Showing a trace of disgust, what kind of slum is this? Bai Qianqian, you are now an SSS-level chosen one. There is no need to live in a place like this. I asked my dad to arrange a villa for you in the city center. It will be convenient for you to go to the academy. Yi Jianqi also smiled and said, it's simple, I'll have someone arrange it right away. Bai Qianqian seemed to sense something was wrong with the atmosphere. I always feel that Yi Qinghan and his father are a bit annoying. Bai Qianqian shook her head, Uncle Yi, you can take the things. Today, we have not accepted these things from others. The college has promised me. If I want it, I just have to go and get it. Hearing this, Yi Jianqi's heart trembled slightly. Director Huang promised you? You won't go to the military or other colleges? Su Lianggang wanted to stop him. Bai Qianqian already shook her head, I'm at the chosen college in Chengdu. Su Liang sighed for the first time, he was still not very experienced in the world. The other party obviously came to inquire about her choice. Yi Jianqi smiled, well, since that's the case, I won't force it. But you and Qinghan can still communicate more. You will inevitably cooperate with each other in the future. In our Chengdu Chosen Academy, you two have the highest level of divine seal. Bai Qianqian was timid and didn't want to respond. She only followed Su Liang anyway. Qinghan, you can exchange contact information with classmate Bai so that we can keep in touch. Yi Qinghan walked up with a proud look on his face. Bai Qianqian, what is your star information? Let me check it for you. Bai Qianqian shook her head, I don't, and there's no need. When others contact me, they always contact Su Liang. You can talk to him. The corners of Su Liang's mouth raised slightly. Very smart at this time. Yi Qinghan's mouth twitched. Forget it. A B-grade trash that he didn't want to have anything to do with. He did not hide his contempt for Su Liang at all. Su Liang smiled and pretended not to see it. Yi Jianqi smiled, okay, don't worry, there will be more in the future. I hope you can communicate more in the academy. Then we won't bother you. Su Liang said calmly, go slowly, I won't see you off. Yi Jianqi smiled calmly and was not angry at all because of Su Liang's actions and words. But just when they were about to leave, there was a commotion outside the courtyard. Not waiting for them to leave, 3 men in different military uniforms walked in. The moment everyone saw the 3 of them, their expressions changed instantly. Green dragon pattern. White tiger pattern. Basalt pattern. 3 great armies of gods. Their people actually came together. Good guys, all 3 have a unique silver star on their shoulders. 3 lieutenant generals. In other words, these 3 people are all 6 seal god kings above level 51. At least he is at the same level as the city lord Zhao Kangshua. But these 3 people are members of the 3 major armies of gods, and their status should be even more respected. Even Yi Jianqi stopped. He gave a respectful military salute. I've met 3 generals. Lieutenant General Qinglong Army looked at him doubtfully, who are you? Yi Jianqi smiled and said, I, Yi Jianqi, am the current patriarch of the Yi family in Rongcheng. I have served in the military for 10 years. All 3 of them nodded slightly. Lieutenant General Qinglong Army said, it's none of your business, we are here to see Bai Qianqian. There was indifference in that voice, without giving any face. He is just the patriarch of an ordinary family in a small city. Yi Jianqi smiled awkwardly, pointed and said, this is classmate Bai Qianqian. Lieutenant General Qinglong Army nodded. He locked his gaze on Bai Qianqian. I saw Bai Qianqian hiding slightly behind the boy. Sure enough, to make this girl change her mind, I have to start with this boy. Hello, Bai Qianqian, I am Jiang Muyang, Lieutenant General of the 34th Army of the Qinglong Heavenly Army. I am Lieutenant General Yuan Feihua of the 56th Army of the White Tiger Army. I am Lieutenant General Zhu Wuzhao of the 42nd Army of the Xuanwu Celestial Army. The 3 of them saluted her in an upright and serious manner. This state made Bai Qianqian even more nervous. You guys, okay. Su Liang frowned slightly when he heard the Qinglong Heavenly Divine Army Jiang Muyang speak. It seems that Marshal Shenzong who attacked Qian Qian in the previous life was the commander of the 34th Army, right? Jiang Muyang solemnly said, classmate Bai Qianqian, on behalf of the three major Celestial Army, we are here to invite you to join the Celestial Army. You can choose any legion. Bai Qianqian shook her head, I won't go. Jiang Muyang frowned, why not go? The Celestial Army is the core strength of China. Becoming a member of the Celestial Army is what everyone aspires to do. Now as long as you join the Celestial Army, you can directly obtain the rank of Lieutenant General, and you can also receive the teachings of Shenzong. You will surely soar into the sky in the future. Bai Qianqian still shook her head. I won't go. Where is Su Liang and where am I? Don't try to persuade me. Hearing this, the three of them frowned. Yi Jianqi and his son on the side looked at this scene curiously. At the same time, they were also making small calculations in their hearts, but they must not agree. Only in the chosen academy, Yi Qinghan had a chance. If he went to the Celestial Army, he would really have no chance at all. Now Yi Qinghan can also join the Celestial Army, but the two of them are destined to be at two levels, and it is difficult to meet each other, so the chance is much smaller. Moreover, among the Celestial Army, there are too many perverts, and the chances are even slimmer, so they may not necessarily like Yi Qinghan. Su Liang smiled and said, Three generals, Qian Qian has made a decision and plans to go. Shut up. Did I let you talk? Su Liang didn't finish his sentence before he was scolded by Jiang Muyang. Su Liang's expression froze, damn, he was really not polite at all. What happened to what I said? If I don't let you go, if she is willing to go with you, my last name will be yours. Yi Qinghan, who was sitting at the door, laughed coldly, a piece of trash, did he really treat himself as a dish? Without Bai Qianqian, who are you? You are a B. I heard Jiang Muyang scolding Su Liang. Bai Qianqian suddenly seemed to be a different person, her eyes instantly cold and firm. Just shut up. Bai Qianqian protects her husband domineeringly. The whole place fell silent for a moment. Chapter 39 The Forbidden Realm of God. Even Su Liang looked at Qian Qian in disbelief. Wife, what are you doing? He is a lieutenant general of the Celestial Army. It's not something you can scold casually. If you anger them, they will kidnap you without any problem. The three lieutenant generals were also stunned. She looked at Bai Qianqian in confusion. No one had ever dared to speak to them like this. This little girl looked so timid at first, why did she suddenly become so hot? Does she really not know what the Celestial Army represents? Yi Qinghan and his son were also confused. Are they crazy? Dare you talk to the Lieutenant General of the Celestial Army like this? Tell him to shut up. My great-grandmother is absolutely crazy. Lu Xian, who had not planned to show up in the room, was also frightened. No matter how ignorant she is, she still knows what the Celestial Army represents. Lu Xian rushed to Bai Qianqian and grabbed her, bowing and apologizing to the three lieutenant generals. Three generals, please forgive me for my daughter's ignorance. But Bai Qianqian was extremely determined. Mom, come in, I'm not ignorant. No one can bully Su Liang. What happened to what he said? Bai Qianqian looked at the three generals with firm eyes, feeling that they would not give in. This is her Bai Qianqian attitude. No one can bully Su Liang, this is what she promised him. She will protect Su Liang for the rest of her life. Seeing Qian Qian's attitude, Su Liang felt that his heart was about to melt. She is really a very good girl. I must be good to her all my life. Lu Xian was frightened. Qianqian, don't talk nonsense. Lu Xian seemed to see the angry looks of the three generals. I want to apologize again. But the next moment, the three lieutenant generals all laughed in unison. Everyone was surprised for a while. Yi Qinghan didn't understand. Are you not angry about this? How about trying it yourself? Jiang Muyang said with a smile, okay. You have character. I like it. Our celestial army only likes young people like you. Bai Qianqian's eyes were still cold and stern. Jiang Muyang smiled and said, I apologize to him. Su Liang, I apologize to you. I made a mistake. He bowed solemnly to Su Liang. Su Liang originally wanted to be polite, but when he thought about himself as an SSS-level person, why should I keep such a low profile? Well, okay, I forgive you, please be more careful next time. The three lieutenant generals and Yi Qinghan and his son almost stumbled and fell. Good guy, I'll give you a little face, are you out of breath? Jiang Muyang felt a little angry, forget it, don't argue with an ant. He looked at Bai Qianqian and said, your concern is about him. We can promise to incorporate him into the celestial army, so you don't have to worry at all. Qian still shook her head, I won't go. Bai Qianqian clearly remembered what Su Liang said. It was impossible for him to go to the military headquarters. If he did, he would only be in extreme pain. So, she won't go either. Jiang Muyang wanted to say something else. Bai Qianqian said firmly, don't persuade me anymore, I won't go. I want to go to the Academy of the Chosen Ones. If I want to become a member of the Celestial Army, I will consider it in the future. Jiang Muyang frowned slightly and locked his gaze on Su Liang. It seems that the key point lies in this boy. Jiang Muyang nodded, okay, since you are so determined, we won't force it. But our Celestial Army needs to register you. You should be able to cooperate with us, right? Bai Qianqian looked at Su Liang. Su Liang's head tightened slightly, register? Is there still such a thing? But now it seems that we can't completely refuse to cooperate. Su Liang nodded slightly. Jiang Muyang smiled and nodded. You too, please take her to register. Yuan Feihua and Zhu Wuzhao understood this. This was something they had already discussed on the way here. This is Plan B. They already knew that Bai Qianqian would listen to Su Liang on everything. As long as Su Liang is taken care of, Bai Qianqian is taken care of. Yuan Feihua and Zhu Wuzhao smiled and said, classmate Bai Qianqian and Ms. Lu Xian, let's go to the house to register. These things are a bit secret. Su Liang understood instantly. This is to talk to him alone. Su Liang nodded. Bai Qianqian then followed in. Jiang Muyang turned around and glanced at Yi Qinghan and his son with cold eyes. Yi Jianqi understood instantly. Back away quickly. Su Liang and Jiang Muyang were the only ones left in the yard. Jiang Muyang turned to look at him. Squint your eyes slightly. A B-level person with a lot of courage. After taking care of her for a few days, she made her completely devoted to you. Su Liang was unusually calm and was not frightened by his coercion. Just average. Jiang Muyang snorted coldly, I don't want to talk nonsense with you. I just want to tell you that taking her to the Chosen Academy is a waste of time. If you really want her good, you should take her to the Celestial Army. This will be good for both you and her. Su Liang's eyes were surprisingly calm, and the vicissitudes of life revealed in his eyes were even greater than Jiang Muyang's. Don't go. You. Jiang Muyang glared. This kid is so incompetent and not afraid of him at all. I'm telling you, I'm not discussing this with you, you have no choice. Su Liang gave him a cold look. I also tell you, this is our choice, and no one can force it. The two faced each other tit for tat, staring at each other. Su Liang was not afraid at all because the other party was a lieutenant general. He didn't go to the Celestial Army, firstly because he was afraid that his secret would be discovered, and secondly because he wanted to go back to the road of his life to make up for the brothers who died for him. The old man inside the house quietly perceived everything in the yard, his eyes extremely calm. Jiang Muyang became a little angry. A powerful pressure instantly fell on Su Liang. I told you, I'm not negotiating with you. Taking her to the Celestial Army is your only choice. If you don't go, you'd better consider the consequences. Can you afford it? That kind of power aura pressed on Su Liang's shoulders, like a big mountain. He could hardly stand still. The knees are already bent. Su Liang's eyes were red, he was bullying the younger ones, right? He stared at Jiang Muyang. I said. I won't go. Jiang Muyang snorted coldly, you are destroying her. In an instant, the power exploded again. Su Liang couldn't hold on at all, and half knelt on the ground with one knee. Su Liang's eyes burst out with a look of madness. Kill me if you can. Otherwise. You're dreaming. Jiang Muyang had a trace of anger on his face. You really think I don't dare? Even if I kill you, no one will come to trouble me for your death. Su Liang roared angrily, come on. Do it. If you don't kill me today, I will definitely settle today's accounts with you tomorrow. Jiang Muyang sneered, a B-level person wants to settle a score with me? Su Liang's eyes showed a crazy look. You can wait. Jiang Muyang snorted coldly, okay, I'll wait for you. In 3 days, we will send someone to take you directly to the military headquarters. You have no choice. We're not going. Jiang Muyang sneered and withdrew his strength. It won't be up to you then. After the power was removed, Su Liang was sweating profusely and breathing heavily. Jiang Muyang said indifferently, do you really think you have the qualifications to change all this? You have no choice. I'm just going to kidnap you, what can you do to me? Su Liang's expression was gloomy and uncertain. You be ********************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************** In her previous life, Qianqian was only in the Academy of the Chosen Ones. That's when. The registration inside is also completed. Jiang Muyang smiled and said, "Okay, it's settled, someone will pick you up in 3 days." Bai Qianqian was surprised. "Su Liang, are you going to the military headquarters?" Su Liang did not speak, but stared at him with cold eyes. Jiang Muyang didn't care. "Classmate Bai, let's leave first." The 3 lieutenant generals walked out of the door swaggeringly. Lieutenant General Yuan Feihua of the White Tiger Army asked. He agreed? Jiang Muyang shook his head. "No, but it doesn't matter anymore. 3 days later, we will send someone to take him away directly. That kid knows he can't stop him." Zhu Wuzhou hesitated for a moment. "Is it too extreme?" Jiang Muyang shook his head. "It's harmless. When the Celestial Army arrives, they will slowly adapt and will only thank us in the future." Jiang Muyang didn't feel at all that he had done anything wrong. But just when the 3 of them took a few steps out of the yard, the expressions of the 3 people suddenly changed. What's going on? They couldn't even feel any sound from the outside world. But an alley is still an alley. Jiang Muyang's expression changed instantly. It's the Forbidden Realm. The 3 people's faces were pale, which meant that someone had taken action against them. And the other party is at least a 7-seal Divine Lord. Who is the senior? Jiang Muyang asked anxiously. And just then, from across the alley, an old man with a stooped figure walked out. Those eyes as cold as an abyss were locked on Jiang Muyang. "Jiang Muyang, it's over." Chapter 40, Going to be kept? Yi Jianqi and Yi Qinghan were on their way back. "Dad, do you think they will agree to the Celestial Army?" Yi Jianqi pondered for a moment. "It's hard to say. Anyway, if they go to the Chosen Academy, you must seize the opportunity and get this girl. You must do it as early as possible. If you succeed when she is weak, you will be able to stabilize her." Yi Qinghan nodded. "I know. But that Su Liang is a little troublesome. He really treats himself as a dishonor." Yi Jianqi sneered. "It's just an ant, don't worry about it at all. No matter how much he jumps around, he is still just an ant. Bai Qianqian values him very much now, but as time goes by, he is destined to be abandoned. So, as long as you go to the Academy of the Chosen One, you will have the greatest chance. You must seize the opportunity. SSS-level, you must get it. In the future, you will be the ancestor of our Yi family's resurgence. The future is limitless." Yi Qinghan's eyes gradually solidified. The corners of his mouth raised slightly. "Dad, don't worry, I will definitely succeed." Yi Jianqi nodded. "If you need any help, just tell your family directly for full support." Yi Qinghan nodded, okay. His eyes were deep and he revealed an evil smile, Bai Qianqian, you are mine. In the alley. The 3 majestic lieutenant generals of the Celestial Army were all lying on the ground with bruises on their noses and swollen faces, and blood dripping from the corners of their mouths. There was a strong look of fear in his eyes. Who would have thought that an old man who had been in the house just now and hadn't come out could actually be such a terrifying existence? The 3 of them almost died. Su Luochun's body was hunched over, but he was filled with an inexplicable sense of intimidation. The voice was calm and indifferent and said, "Do you have any objection if I hit you?" The 3 of them shook their heads very obediently, "No, no. If I kill you, do you think anyone will cause trouble for me?" Su Luochun returned this sentence to Jiang Muyang. How dare Jiang Muyang say such nonsense? Senior, I was wrong. I was arrogant. Please forgive me, Senior. Humph. Su Luochun snorted coldly, do you know how to reverse your fate when you go back? Jiang Muyang nodded repeatedly, like an obedient dog. Where was the majesty he had just now? I know. Just say that Bai Qianqian doesn't want to come. There's nothing we can do about it. We won't do anything about seniors. Su Luochun snorted coldly, go away. The 3 of them got up from the ground and ran away like crazy. If the trouble really broke out, such a being would kill them, and they wouldn't say anything nonsense. Su Luochun watched them leave in a hurry with an indifferent expression, then ducked and quietly returned to the house. Inside the yard. It took a while for Su Liang to regain his composure. Su Liang, what's wrong with you? Su Liang shook his head, it's okay, maybe I'm a little tired. Don't let Xiang Qianqian worry. The lieutenant general just said he would pick us up in 3 days? Su Liang didn't know how to answer. The old man walked out of the house. Don't think so much, just go to the academy safely. They can't take you away. If you go to the academy will protect you. Hearing this, Su Liang's head lit up, yes, go directly to the academy can protect them. Su Luochun still looked like an amiable little old man, of course, only to Bai Qianqian. It's time to make dinner. There are a lot of delicious food today, you are in for a treat. Su Luochun took some ingredients and prepared to cook. Lu Xian also took the initiative to help. It's almost time to eat. The courtyard door was knocked again. The visitor is Director Huang from the Chosen Academy. Student Su, you didn't agree to go somewhere else, did you? Director Huang asked with some anxiety. Su Liang smiled and shook his head, Director Huang, no, we will still go to the academy. Director Huang breathed a sigh of relief. I know that the City Lord and the Celestial Army must have come, but they didn't come to stop it. This can only depend on your own choice. Su Liang smiled and nodded, thank you for understanding. Director Huang shook his head, I should thank you for choosing our college. By the way, all my applications to the college have been approved. As long as you and Mr. Bai come to our academy, there will be no restrictions on resources, and all weapons and equipment will be available for you to choose from. All training venues and other facilities will be available for you to use at any time without any conditions. The villa has also been set up. This is the key. You can report to the academy at any time. Director Huang took out a card key. Su Liang and Bai Qianqian were both a little surprised, the speed was quite fast. Su Liang smiled and said, Director Huang, then we won't be polite to you. It should. Su Liang took the card key. Director Huang said mysteriously, this villa is still very secret. If you don't want to face those people, you can just move there. Director Huang said this because he was afraid that people from behind would appear again and affect their choice. Su Liang smiled and nodded, we are also planning to move there maybe tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, and will report to the college as soon as possible. Director Huang could not hide his joy. Good. Then I won't disturb you anymore. If you need anything, just contact me. I'll be here at your call. Su Liang smiled bitterly, this treatment is really high. Director Huang stood up and left. Director Huang, let's have dinner together. No, no. I won't bother you. Oh, why are you so polite? It's already dinner time. Su Liang grabbed him. Su Luochen also came to the small courtyard carrying dishes. The old man smiled and said, let's have some together, it's just a matter of having more pairs of bowls and chopsticks. Director Huang couldn't resist his enthusiasm and had a meal together, which could be regarded as a closer relationship. Late at night, Su Liang checked his attribute panel again. The 4 basic attributes have actually increased a little. And there are new changes. Beast Energy Transformation. Conversion Progress 36/10000000. Beast Talent, Eye of Insight 1. Divine Seal, B-Level Wind and Fire Seal, 1 Seal, Level 1. Divine Seal Evolution Progress, 1%. Beast God Seal, SSS-Level Red-Eyed Tianlin Seal, 1st Level and 2nd Level. Evolution Progress of Beast God Seal, 2%. Spirit 19 + 1/100. Strength 26 + 1/100. Agility 19 + 1/100. Speed 19 + 1/100. The seal of the Beast God has reached level 2. Su Liang looked at the scene in front of him in shock. He finally understood. These strength attribute values basically correspond to the level of the Beast God seal. As long as the energy in the Beast Crystal is converted through Beast Energy Transformation, it can be turned into one's own attribute values, thus improving the evolution progress of one's Beast God seal. At the same time, the attribute values from the Wind and Fire Divine Seal will be directly added to this. The point added today must be the basic value brought by the awakening of the Wind and Fire Divine Seal. There is a limit to the evolutionary level of your Wind and Fire Divine Seal. The most you can do is reach the level of a 3-seal Divine Master, and there is a limit to what you can increase. If you want to improve your strength, as long as you have enough Beast Crystals in the future, you can keep improving. Su Liang was overjoyed and finally understood some of the situation. Su Liang thought secretly. Just need Divine Crystals and Beast Crystals. According to my current strength, even though I don't have the power of seals, I still have no problem killing some low-level 1-star alien beasts. When the time comes, go to Director Huang and ask for a privilege to try out at the hunting ground. Thinking of this, Su Liang slowly fell asleep. Early the next morning, Su Liang took Qianqian out. Arriving at the center of the city, this central urban area was completely different from their peripheral civilian areas. There are many high-rise buildings here, all of which are towering skyscrapers with flashing neon lights. It feels like you have arrived in the future world. It was Bai Qianqian's first time here, and her beautiful eyes never stopped being surprised. Look at this villa hidden in a lively part of the city. Su Liang smiled. The college is really willing to spend money. It is estimated that this villa, if converted into soft sister coins, will probably start at 100 million. Bai Qianqian was shocked. So many? Definitely, every inch of land is valuable, and it can't be bought with soft sister coins. It's all converted with divine crystal or source crystal resources. Bai Qianqian was so shocked that she couldn't speak. Su Liang smiled and said, Qianqian, you are a rich woman now, and I will be supported by you in the future. Bai Qianqian's cheeks turned red. Okay, I'll support you. Su Liang only felt that he had been hit hard by a knife, and he had hit it by himself, and his health bar was about to be emptied. Is the future empress so good at flirting? Su Liang stared blankly at Bai Qianqian's blushing cheeks, and the more he looked at it, the more excited he became. It's over, I'm about to be taken care of, but why am I a little excited for no reason? You are listening to it in Eugene Light Novels.